Chapter 152. Lin Xian wasn't too sure about the difference in his attributes compared to other warriors of the same realm, but he knew that his vitality and mental strength were definitely high. His vitality had been tempered by the Thunder Soul and increased by the gene fluid exchanged from the system store. His mental strength had also been increased. Moreover, Lin Xian's mental strength was much higher than other warriors of the same realm. Perhaps it was because he had reincarnated? Arcane Body Realm 4 stars. An increase of 2 stars was a completely unexpected gain for Lin Xian. He was already very satisfied, and even more satisfied was that he had taken down this SSS-ranked big sister Ling Ying. Looking at the sleeping Ling Ying, the corners of Lin Xian's mouth couldn't help but curl up slightly. He didn't think that he would take her down in such a way. He didn't know if she was convinced or not. But since the system had already determined that Ling Ying was his girlfriend, it naturally knew that Ling Ying didn't agree temporarily to deal with Lin Xian. That meant that it was real, and that was enough. Lin Xian also fell asleep after sending a message to Linya. Last night, he had already told Linya that he wouldn't be going home. Now he told her that he would go directly to school and go home in the afternoon. He slept until 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Lin Xian only woke up when Ling Ying moved. Damn it! He didn't feel tired when he did that. So why did he sleep so deeply after it was over? When he opened his eyes, Ling Ying was blinking her big eyes and looking at Lin Xian from his embrace. Lin Xian looked at her, and she quickly avoided his gaze. You're awake. Lin Xian chuckled, then rubbed his head against Ling Ying's little head and sniffed her scent. Damn it, what time is it? Ling Ying quickly looked at the watch on her wrist. Thank goodness. She was supposed to go to the temple this morning. What's the matter? Yes, I'm going to the temple to find someone to talk about something. Man? If it's a man, I won't let you go. Ling Ying. Go to hell. Animal. Ha ha ha. Is it something important? Ling Ying shook her head. Not really, I don't want to drag it out. Okay, I'm going to school too. Lin Xian then opened his arms and said, help me change. Ling Ying. Hurry. Oh, Ling Ying replied. She then sat up and helped Lin Xian put on his clothes with a red face. Good girl. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. This was to Lin Xian. S to the temple's ts. Lin. S's. S's. To the twos. To the Lins. T's. Lin tss. In the kitchen, Ling Ying took a deep breath. This Lin Xian really got his way. She was really taken down by him. Damn it. She was pissed. She was extremely pissed. Lin Xian didn't formally confess, nor did he do anything, but he took her down. In her imagination, her future boyfriend would confess to her in front of thousands of people in a public square with thousands of roses. She would only agree to it in a romantic setting. But this was completely different from what she imagined, okay? Romantic. She wanted to kick Lin Xian away. Then she sighed. What else could he do? This was still okay. Why was it okay? Maybe it was because she didn't feel disgusted. That's right, this could only be the reason. If she didn't like someone, no matter how many things he did, she wouldn't be moved. At most, she would feel guilty and feel that it wasn't worth it for him. Of course, normally, she wouldn't accept him because of this guilt. But if she liked someone, not to mention a boy confessing, even a girl might take the initiative to confess to him. Ling Ying might feel that she didn't really like Lin Xian, but she was conflicted. Otherwise, why would she agree to Lin Xian? Ling Ying was very smart. She just didn't have any experience in relationships, so she might not understand it. But not hating him was enough to show something. Time to eat. Lunch was simple. Ling Ying cooked some noodles, but it was still a sumptuous meal. Please add hubby in front of the meal. Lin Xian's voice drifted over. Get lost. Ling Ying's voice came from the kitchen again. Lin Xian smiled and walked over. Ling Ying was indeed much more obedient, but she was still Ling Ying. Lin Xian really liked this. If Ling Ying became as gentle as Linya, Lin Xian wouldn't be used to it. Really, you're still shy. Lin Xian sat at the table. Ling Ying placed the noodles and chopsticks in front of him. Who said so? Ling Ying rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. If you're not shy, then why don't you call me that? We're not married, so why should I call you that? Also, Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian proudly and said, "Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because I'm your girlfriend. I'm just playing with you. Once I'm tired of you, I'll throw you away." Lin Xian. Damn. Fierce. Then what if you're not tired of playing with me? Tisk, how's that possible? Lin Xian smiled and then ate the noodles. After eating, Ling Ying washed the dishes and looked at Lin Xian on the sofa. Then she sat across from him. "Let me tell you," Ling Ying blushed and said, "although I'm your girlfriend now, you're not allowed to control me. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Of course, you have to remember that you're my girlfriend. Also, if there's anything dangerous, you have to discuss it with me. Otherwise, I'll spank you." Ling Ying. That's not a problem. Also, you're not allowed to order me around. Allah, when did I order you? Lin Xian looked at her suspiciously. Ling Ying blushed and stammered. This morning you asked me to help you. Help you get dressed. That's an order. Lin Xian grinned. Okay. I got it. This kind of thing was consensual. If Ling Ying wanted to be a good girlfriend, she wouldn't think much of it. Although Lin Xian agreed, Lin Xian didn't think that Ling Ying wouldn't serve him in the future. This was also Ling Ying's last bit of stubbornness. She wasn't a weak girl. She had to make things clear first. Otherwise, she would be bullied to death. Although Ling Ying felt that she would still be bullied in the future. At least she could say this to save her face, right? That's all I can think of for now. Then, I have something too. Ling Ying took a sip of water and looked at Lin Xian. Speak. Does the bet I made with you still count? Ling Ying naturally knew what Lin Xian was talking about. Of course it counts. Anyway, I'm just playing with you. You can do whatever you want outside. But when I need you, if you're flirting with other girls and ignoring me, then we'll meet again. Ling Ying said seriously. But she was just putting on a brave front. How could a girl be so magnanimous? She had said this before, and with her personality, she didn't want to admit defeat, so she could only follow along. Lin Xian was already very shocked. Ling Ying had already become Lin Xian's girlfriend. She actually didn't care if he was flirting with other girls outside. Wasn't this too magnanimous? As for the future, Lin Xian wouldn't be like this, right? After all, Ling Ying was now Lin Xian's official girlfriend. Chapter 153. Then what if you're jealous? Lin Xian asked with a smile. How is that possible? Why would I be jealous of you? You're thinking too much. Women. They didn't mean what they said. There's one more thing. Ling Ying thought about it and said, I don't want our relationship to be made public. Why? I don't want others to know that you're Ling Ying's boyfriend. Otherwise they'll laugh at my taste. Lin Xian. What about me? You're too weak. F***ck. Lin Xian was unhappy. I'm weak. Who was the one begging me for mercy last night? Ling Ying. You're still talking. She gritted her teeth and angrily glared at Lin Xian. Then change your words first. No. Fine. You said I'm weak. Lin Xian then pounced on her. What are you doing? 1.5 hours later, Lin Xian put on his clothes with satisfaction. Now you're still calling me weak? I'm not weak. No, I'm not weak. Ling Ying collapsed on the sofa and wrapped herself in the quilt. Lin Xian looked at her and smiled. But I accept what you said just now. I don't want to announce that I have a girlfriend. Otherwise, I'll lose my peach blossoms. Ling Ying was about to cry. If you accept it, then say it. You bullied me for so long before saying it. Lin Xian went to Ling Ying's room and placed the medicine in front of her. Then he poured her a glass of water. Rest. I'm going to school. Be good. Ling Ying then pulled the quilt. Oh, you're not replying to me. Ling Ying suddenly revealed a frightened expression. Go. Be careful on the road. That's right. Give me the key to your house. There's a sign hanging on the door. Ling Ying said weakly. Lin Xian pinched Ling Ying's little face and walked away with a smile. Only now did Ling Ying realize something. She had actually reached 10 stars of the arcane body realm. Last time, she had sex with Lin Xian for the first time, and her cultivation level had increased by 2 stars. This time, it had increased by another 2 stars. What was going on? Ling Ying was dumbfounded. Would doing this kind of thing with a man have such an effect? Unable to figure it out, Ling Ying took out his phone and made a call. What is it this time? Han Shushua's voice could be heard. She felt that Ling Ying sometimes annoyed her like a child. Of course, she wasn't annoyed. I'm very unhappy. I was bullied. You? Who can bully you? Han Shushua was stunned and asked in surprise. Let's not talk about this anymore. I want to eat barbecue. Han Shushua. Can the instant shadow teleport through walls? Lin Xian was curious about this. Logically speaking, the space should be able to do it. He walked into the Sky Marshal Court and stood on the wall beside the entrance of the Sky Marshal Court. There were many students around. However, only the students of the Sky Marshal Court came in and out of the Sky Marshal Court. Those of the Tianhua Academy who had not entered the Sky Marshal Court would rarely come to the entrance. Even if they did, it would be useless. Therefore, there weren't many people here. With this thought in mind, Lin Xian released the instant shadow. Then, he appeared in the Sky Marshal Court. It's really possible. If that's the case, then the effect of instant shadow might exceed my expectations. Clap, 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 clap. At this moment, Lin Xian heard the sound of clapping not far away. Lin Xian turned his head and saw a middle-aged man clapping as he walked over. Impressive. The space attribute is indeed impressive. Is this the power of teleportation? To be able to control it to such an extent, I'm impressed. You are? The man extended his hand towards Lin Xian and said, I'm Chen Mo, the vice president of the Tianhua branch of the Trial Union. Nice to meet you. Trial Union. Lin Xian could roughly guess what he was up to. Damn it. He had coincidentally seen him release the instant shadow. Naturally, he thought that Lin Xian had released his space attribute. Do you have time to find a place to sit and catch up? Chen Mo asked with a smile. Lin Xian shook his head. Sorry, I don't have time. I have to rush to class. Today is Miss Zhao's academic class. Goodbye. After saying that, Lin Xian walked away. Chen Mo was stunned. He had already revealed his identity. He did not expect Lin Xian to be so uninterested. President Chen Xiaotian just happened to walk in from the back and saw this scene. Oh, it's Xiaotian. Chen Mo smiled. He and Xiaotian knew each other. President Chen, you're looking for Lin Xian? Xiaotian saw that it was Lin Xian, so he paid extra attention. What did Lin Xian do to make the vice president of the Trial Union? Chen Mo, come looking for him. Chen Mo nodded. Yes, I'm looking for him. However, it seems like he doesn't have much of an interest in our Trial Union. Looking for him? For what? Chen Mo smiled. Don't you know? Lin Xian has the space attribute. He's even a genius who can control the space attribute. We're very concerned about this. Xiaotian secretly clenched his fists. He had naturally heard about this. At first, he was very surprised and even had a skeptical attitude. However, it was confirmed, so he believed it. However, he felt very unbalanced. Why? What right did this Lin Xian have? He Xiaotian had been called a genius since he was young. He grew up in a superior environment. In order to maintain this title, he even made a move on Linya and took away her special cold body. His ability had reached a higher level, so he could maintain this position. However, even so, the Trial Union had never invited him. Therefore, he was jealous. In his eyes, a person who was unpresentable suddenly received attention and even obtained the space and thunder attribute power. He could not understand. Why could a piece of trash grow to become like this? He had to be eliminated. He had to be eliminated as soon as possible, because Xiaotian felt a sense of danger. A very strong sense of danger. By the way, you're also participating in tomorrow's operation, right? Chen Mo asked. Xiaotian nodded. Yes, of course I'm participating in such a major battle for humanity. Very good. Good luck. The future belongs to you young people. In the future, we'll have to rely on geniuses like you and Lin Xian to hold power. That's all for now. I have to get to work. Then Chen Mo walked away. Ka. Xiaotian secretly clenched his fists. Chen Mo's words actually put him and Lin Xian together. In other words, in Chen Mo's eyes, Lin Xian was a genius on the same level as him. How could he tolerate this? Lin Xian, I want you to die a horrible death. Xiaotian's eyes were bloodshot. Miss Xiao. Lin Xian went to class. Xiao Runing was in the middle of a lecture. Why are you only here now? Xiao Runing and the other students' gazes fell on Lin Xian. Was Lin Xian going to say that he and Ling Ying had sex until now? I had something to do, so I didn't come this morning. Miss Xiao, you won't blame me, right? Xiao Runing secretly rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Then, she looked at everyone and said, let's stop here for now. You can do whatever you want. Then, she looked at Lin Xian and said, come with me. Then, Lin Xian was brought to the office by Xiao Runing. Ning Ning, what's the matter? Without anyone around, Lin Xian changed the way he addressed Xiao Runing. Xiao Runing was used to it. Judgment will send someone to look for you. Chapter 154. Hearing Xiao Runing's words, Lin Xian nodded. I saw them. Xiao Runing then said, it might not be just the trial union. This afternoon, people from the Divine Temple, and even the Bounty Hunter Guild might come. You should be prepared. What do I need to prepare for? I'm not joining any of them. Miss Xiao, if they find you, help me say a few words. When the time comes, I'll have to reject them in person. It might not be good for my reputation. After all, they did come with sincerity. Lin Xian knew that even the vice president of the Tianhua City Trial Union had come. The other party's sincerity was quite obvious. Have you really thought it through? Joining any one of them may play a crucial role in your future, and may even change your entire life. Xiao Runing also spoke up for Lin Xian's sake. In any case, joining any of them would definitely be better for him. Lin Xian smiled. But I feel that changing my life is changing the life I don't want the most, so I don't want to. Alright, I won't give you any advice. You can decide for yourself. Alright, where did you go last night? Don't tell me you went to the beast territory. Lin Xian shook his head. No, I had something to do. Xiao Runing revealed a thought-provoking smile. In the past, you wouldn't speak so secretively. Looks like it's not a small matter. TCH, then I'll tell you. Last night, I went to bed. A girl went. Do you believe me? I don't believe you. Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Hey. I don't believe you even if I tell you the truth. Woman. Xiao Runing couldn't be bothered to ask about this. She then said, but last night I slept with your sister. I know a lot of your little secrets. Wah. You pervert. After sleeping with Han Chuxue, you slept with my sister. Why do you always like to sleep with other girls? Xiao Runing. Go away, you're not serious. Of course us girls like to sleep together. It's the same reason that you guys like to sleep on the same bed. That's true. However, I don't have any secrets, so I'm not afraid of you. Lin Xian shrugged. Really? Xiao Runing's mouth curled up. Seeing Xiao Runing's expression, Lin Xian became suspicious. Did he have any secrets? Even if there was, it shouldn't be anything special, right? Alright, I'm just teasing you. Go back to class. Fan and Yi have been nagging about you since you didn't come early in the morning. Let me tell you, don't let these two girls down. They probably have a good impression of you. Your sister is also very satisfied with them. If you think it's okay, you can choose one of them to be your girlfriend. But remember to take good care of the other's feelings. Don't hurt them. Lin Xian. In any case, I've already decided on you. I'm definitely going to get first place in the Tianwu tournament. I'm also going to get you as my girlfriend. Xiao Runing's face turned slightly red. She then laughed. Then do your best. I'll wait for you to get first place. Go on. Hee, then I'll be going. Lin Xian then walked past Xiao Runing and pinched her butt. Ding. Successfully pinched big sister's butt. Scumbag value plus 300,000. Xiao Runing. Bastard. What are you doing? Xiao Runing gritted her teeth and looked at Lin Xian angrily. This is what you should pay me back. Lin Xian said with a serious face. What do you mean? If you don't give me a reasonable explanation, you can wait for death. Xiao Runing said fiercely. When we met the two-headed evil-eyed tiger, you touched my brother. Is it wrong for me to pay you back? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Xiao Runing's face turned red. I didn't do it on purpose. I couldn't see. Xiao Runing explained. Then you touched it too. Lin Xian shrugged. Hurry up and leave. Don't make me angry. Hee, goodbye, dear. Lin Xian then ran off with a smile. Bastard. Xiao Runing's face turned red. After a few seconds, she touched her burning face. She really didn't do it on purpose. Xiao Runing felt wronged, that she was taken advantage of by Lin Xian. Suddenly she realized something. God! She was actually embarrassed because of Lin Xian, who was younger than her, and was her student. Who? Xiao Runing took a deep breath and stopped thinking about it. Lin Xian arrived at class 10, and saw Qin Xiaotian. He didn't expect Qin Xiaotian to come again. Did he think that he wasn't humiliated enough last time? Qin Xiaotian naturally sat next to Yi Yi. Yi Yi was also helpless. Hey Lin Xian, come play games. Lu Yufan saw Lin Xian, and quickly waved his hand. You're here. Lin Xian smiled and walked over. Then he looked at Qin Xiaotian and said, Young Master Qin, you're really free. Actually, what Lin Xian was trying to say was, do you have nothing better to do? Why did he come here all day? Qin Xiaotian smiled and said, It's okay. After all, it's quite difficult to raise your realm. After training outside for a few weeks, it's normal for me to take a break. Lin Xian, you might not understand. What Qin Xiaotian meant was that Lin Xian should know his own limits when his realm was low. Qin Xiaotian's lifestyle wasn't something a weakling like Lin Xian could understand. Yeah, I don't understand. I'm actually much more free than young Master Qin. I just go shopping with girls when I'm free. Nonsense. Yesterday, Yi and I asked you to go shopping, but you didn't want to go. Lu Yufan said at this time. After saying that, she secretly winked at Lin Xian. Godly teammate. Now Qin Xiaotian was pissed. Yi Yi actually took the initiative to go shopping with Lin Xian. And he didn't even go. Why? How was he Qin Xiaotian, worse than Lin Xian? He stuck his face close to Yi Yi, but she didn't even pay attention to him. Instead, she took the initiative to go to Lin Xian. That's because I have something to do, but I'll occasionally play games with Yi and the others when I'm free. Oh right, young Master Qin. Have you ever played games with Yi? Lin Xian asked. Qin Xiaotian's face was dark, but when he saw Lin Xian looking over, he instantly returned to normal. He then shook his head slightly. No, I don't usually like to play games. I don't like to play games either. But Yi and little Fan Fan kept asking me to play. I had no choice, so I played. Critical hit. Another critical hit. Qin Xiaotian didn't like to play games, but they didn't ask him to play games either. However, Lin Xian didn't like to play games, but they took the initiative to ask Lin Xian to play games. The difference was obvious. Qin Xiaotian smiled awkwardly and didn't say anything. He really wanted to kill Lin Xian. He wanted to kill him right now, but he had to maintain his rationality. He had to maintain it. Qin Xiaotian probably wouldn't come to class 10 again. Yi Yi didn't interrupt, because she was afraid of saying the wrong thing. He Xiang. At this moment Lin Xian shouted. Brother Xian, what's the matter? He Xiang quickly ran over. What are you doing? Young Master Qin came, but you didn't pour him any tea. How many times do I have to remind you? Chapter 155. Hearing Lin Xian's words, the corner of Qin Xiaotian's mouth twitched uncontrollably. Damn Lin Yang. If he didn't fall, then so be it. He didn't even care. Why did you have to call him out? Qin Xiaotian really wanted to peel off Lin Xian's skin and pull out his tendons. He Xiang hurriedly said, I'm sorry, Master Qin. It's all our fault for being too stupid. I'll go get some tea now. At this time Xiao Runing walked in, followed by a few men. Lin Xian had already seen one of them before. It was Chen Mo, the vice president of the Tianhua City branch of the Magic Court. There were also two others. One of them was a girl, about 26 or 27 years old. She was dressed in a bold and unrestrained manner. Her appearance was very good, beautiful, and mature. The last one was a middle-aged man. Lin Xian, the three of them are looking for you, Xiao Runing said to Lin Xian. She then went to the back and sat down, waiting to see what would happen next. Lin Xian looked at them. Of course, he knew what they were here for. Hi, Lin Xian. Chen Mo greeted Lin Xian, as if he was familiar with him. Qin Xiaotian could only stand aside because of their arrival. He could not give Lin Xian face, but he still had to give Chen Mo face. After all, if he didn't step aside, It wouldn't be in line with his perfect gentleman persona. Chenemo. And the other two walked over. Then Chenemo said to Lin Xian, "Let me introduce you. This is Wang Jichao, one of the higher-ups of the enforcement union. His strength has reached the lightning calamity stage." Lin Xian was quite surprised. This Wang Jichao seemed to be about 40 years old. A 40-year-old lightning calamity stage cultivator was indeed quite powerful. Relatively speaking, it was powerful. However, to them, it was actually quite average. On the other hand, Xiao Runing, Ling Ying, and even Qin Xiaotian could reach the lightning calamity stage before the age of 30. They didn't even need to wait that long. Compared to Wang Jichao, they were much stronger. "Greetings, senior." Wang Jichao smiled and nodded at Lin Xian. "This beautiful lady is the president of the Tianhua City branch of the Enforcement Union. She is also my superior, Zhang Nan." "Lin Xian, right? Nice to meet you." Zhang Nan smiled and extended her hand to Lin Xian. Lin Xian stood up and politely shook her hand. This Zhang Nan was quite pretty, but compared to girls like Yi Yi and the others, she was still a little weaker. But she was definitely a great beauty. However, since the system didn't issue a quest, Lin Xian wasn't interested in her. This system is very crafty. It must be that kind of SSS grade beauty to issue a mission. Even if Yi Yi and Lu Yufan did not look as good as Ling Ying now, they might be in a few years' time. After all, they were still young and inexperienced. They were not at their most beautiful age. When the surrounding people heard their identities, they were all incomparably shocked. The president and vice president of the Enforcement Union branch came to look for Lin Xian, and they looked very friendly. What were their identities? One of the three major powers, the people with the highest status in a city. That's right, the people standing in front of them were such existences. Their existences were on equal footing with the city's mayor. Zhang Nan then looked at Lin Xian and said, "Lin Xian, we have heard about your previous matters. Everyone admires you very much." No, it's what I should do." Lin Xian scratched his head and pretended to be simple and honest. This scene made Xiao Runing hold back her laughter. "You, Lin Xian, have this kind of simple and honest persona? Bullshit." But she saw through it and didn't say it out loud. "Regarding the purpose of our visit, Lin Xian, you should already know, right?" Zhang Nan looked at Lin Xian and said with a smile, "And I was fortunate enough to meet the vice president before. He told me." "Then you mean?" Zhang Nan naturally knew what Lin Xian meant. When Chen Mo heard that Lin Xian did not have this intention, he immediately told Zhang Nan this news. Therefore she hurried over. She had no choice but to come. The higher-ups simply valued Lin Xian too much. What they valued was not their Tianhua City branch, but the headquarters, which was the true higher-ups of the Enforcement Union. It was enough to see how much they valued Lin Xian. However, in their opinion, with such a powerful use of the power of space at such a young age, his future was limitless. He might even break some records. In the future, he would definitely be an extremely powerful existence. If they did not rope him in now, they would not have the chance in the future. She still wanted to fight. She must fight. Lin Xian did not agree, because he did not know how he would be treated in the future. Once he knew, they would definitely be able to rope him in. Otherwise, if he was roped in by the other two powers, it would be a great loss for them. "President Zhang, I have already told Vice President Chen Mo that I will not join any powers, so I'm sorry." Qin Xiaotian sneered in his heart. How could he not see that this was a game of cat and mouse? Young. But in fact, Lin Xian really was not playing cat and mouse. In fact, even Zhang Nan and the others felt that Lin Xian was also playing cat and mouse. This was a very normal situation. They naturally understood. It's like this. I want to first talk about our sincerity. After all, Lin Xian, you are so young, and your control of the power of space is so skillful. No matter where you go, you will be heavily groomed and put in an important position. After joining our trial union, you will immediately receive countless cultivation resources, martial skills, spiritual weapons. As long as the trial union has it, you can take whatever you like. Of course, I'm talking about all the resources. We will not hide anything from you. For example, we will hide very powerful martial skills, and such and only let you see the surface. It won't be like this. Wah! Everyone was in an uproar. This was too tempting. What did it mean? It meant that after Lin Xian joined the trial union, he would not have to worry about any resources in the future. He could just focus on improving himself. Behind him, there would be the trial union that would provide him with everything. As one of the three major powers, the trial union had an extremely rich foundation. In this world, there was probably no other power that had a richer foundation than the three major powers. In the eyes of everyone, not to mention being heavily groomed by the three major powers, and being able to use the three major powers' resources freely, just being able to join the three major powers was already a luxury. This required one's own strength. However, Lin Xian could actually receive such treatment. Xiao Runing understood better. Since they had already offered such conditions, it was already extremely generous. For any martial artist, this already meant that he had the key to becoming a powerhouse in the future. Qin Xiaotian secretly clenched his fists. Not only did they invite Lin Xian to join the trial union, but they even offered such a generous reward. The trial union's sincerity made Qin Xiaotian excited. If it were him, he would agree without hesitation. His family's influence was quite strong, but compared to the trial union, it was trash. This was even Qin Xiaotian's wish. However, it happened to Lin Xian. Chapter 156. However, at this moment footsteps were heard from the door. The trial union is really generous. A middle-aged man walked in, followed by two twin sisters. They looked like attendants. Lu Namfeng. Zhang Nan recognized Lu Namfeng at a glance. Someone from the holy sanctum came. Lu Namfeng glanced at them, and then looked at Lin Xian. He then smiled. Lin Xian, right? Hello. I'm Lu Namfeng, the person in charge of the holy sanctum in Tianhua City. Lin Xian was speechless. Oh my god. He just wanted to go home and hug Linya to sleep. He didn't want to do these things. I'm sorry. You've all come for nothing. I don't plan to join any forces, so I'm sorry. Lin Xian said. Lu Namfeng naturally thought that he was playing hard to get. He then smiled and said, Lin Xian, don't worry. The holy sanctum has given you very generous treatment. I've heard what President Zhang said just now. The holy sanctum can give you the same treatment. In addition, we'll give you a chance to enter the God's awakening door. Therefore, I hope you can consider it. What? Zhang Nan and the other two revealed arrogant expressions. Xiao Runing's beautiful eyes also lit up. Not many people present knew about the God's awakening door. Other than them, only Xiao Runing and Qin Xiaotian knew about it. Ka. Qin Xiaotian secretly clenched his fists. The God's awakening door was also his dream. It was a place he wanted to enter his entire life. He had worked hard to reach this height. In the eyes of others, he was the pride of the heavens. However, he was still not qualified. Why? Wasn't it because of the space attribute? Why would the holy sanctum give Lin Xian such treatment and not hesitate to rope him in? Jealousy. Jealousy burning. What's this God's awakening door? Lin Xian was curious because he saw the shock on Zhang Nan and the rest's faces. Who was Zhang Nan? The president of the Tianhua City branch of the Enforcement Union, had a very high status. Even she was shocked. It was enough to see how extraordinary the God's awakening door was. Hearing Lin Xian's question, Lu Namfeng laughed in his heart. Sure enough, Lin Xian was just a child. Roping him in was easy, although the slots for the God's awakening door were extremely rare. And he was shocked when he received the news from the upper echelons of the sacred temple. It was reasonable for a genius in the power of space to receive such treatment from the sacred temple. Lu Namfeng then slowly said, This God's awakening door is our temple's treasure. It is also the foundation for our temple to become one of the three major powers. It is behind this door. As for what lies behind this door, I'm ashamed to say that I don't know because I don't have the qualifications to enter. However, I do know that upon entering, a martial artist's attributes will be raised to the limit. Level up. No. It's not as simple as leveling up. For example, the power of space attribute that you can use can teleport 40 people 1,000 meters away. If you come out after entering, this effect might be doubled. So, do you understand how powerful the God's Awakening Door is? In addition, the God's Awakening Door has the ability to temper one's body and increase one's mental strength. I've only heard of it, but it's all true. With such an opportunity, Lin Xian, you will become a dragon among men. Those so-called geniuses will also be trampled under your feet. This is our sacred temple's sincerity. I hope you will consider it carefully. Lin Xian revealed a shocked expression. Behind a door, one could double one's attributes, temper one's body, and train one's mental strength. The enhancement that this place could give Lin Xian was simply unimaginable. When Lu Nanfeng said this, Zhang Nan and the rest already knew that they had no qualifications to compete. The trial union was indeed powerful, but they did not expect the sacred temple to offer such a condition. Lin Xian, I think you should consider it. The God's Awakening Door can allow a genius to evolve into a son of God. In the 5 great empires, in the entire planet Aqua Blue, there are only a few places that can compare to the God's Awakening Door. Xiao Runing said to Lin Xian. Although she knew what Lin Xian meant, she also knew what the God's Awakening Door represented. This could really allow Lin Xian to soar into the sky. To be honest, she did not want Lin Xian to miss this opportunity. Lu Nanfeng looked at Xiao Runing, and his pupil shrank. Why was she in Tianhua City? Lu Nanfeng saw Xiao Runing secretly shake her head at him, and then Lu Nanfeng's expression returned to normal. Lu Nanfeng then looked at Lin Xian and continued. That's right. Lin Xian, perhaps you don't know how precious the spots to enter the God's Awakening Door are. Let me explain it to you. Within a year, there are a total of 10 people who can enter the God's Awakening Door. These 10 people are all below the age of 25. They are chosen from the hundreds of millions of young people in the 5 empires. They have to overcome all obstacles and defeat several thousand, or even tens of thousands of genius-level opponents in order to obtain a spot. Of course, Lin Xian understood. He did not understand, but he could understand just by listening to it. In the 5 great empires, the young talents under the age of 25 would compete. It was like a competition, one round after another. From a county to a city, from a city to a province, and from a province to a nation. It should be the same logic, and there were only 10 people. In addition, the Tianwu assembly you are participating in is actually a competition before entering the God's Awakening Door. The top 10 from your Tianwu assembly will compete with the top 10 from the other cities and universities in the Hua Nation. The top 10 will then compete with the experts from the other 4 great empires. Only the top 10 can enter the God's Awakening Door. Lin Xian, oh my God, this is too exaggerated. And the Tianwu assembly is actually for this. And there are so many more competitions after that. Every round, it was Ling Ying and Han Chuxue who were on the same level as them. If I agree, won't they have one less spot? That is not what you need to worry about. So what do you mean? Lu Nanfeng looked at Lin Xian. Qin Xiaotian gritted his teeth. He hated it. He needed to go through the Tianwu assembly and enter the top 10. Then, he would have to compete multiple times before he could enter the God's Awakening Door. However, Lin Xian could enter now. There was only one chance. I'm sorry. Although it is very tempting, I thank Sage Sanctum for your kind intentions. Perhaps I can enter the God's Awakening Door with my own ability, and not through the back door. Although this is an opportunity, I might look down on myself. Moreover, I like freedom. Are you crazy? You don't want this kind of treatment? Lu Nanfeng was dumbfounded. If he had thought that Lin Xian was playing hard to get before, he now thought that he was an idiot. This was an opportunity that others could only dream of, but could not get. He actually rejected it. Xiao Runing was also stunned. Qin Xiaotian was even more shocked. Chapter 157. In Qin Xiaotian's eyes, there was nothing more delicious than this pie that fell from the sky. However, Lin Xian actually didn't want it. Why did he fight so hard, and even use a series of improper methods to strengthen himself, and even enter the God's Awakening Door? However, Lin Xian didn't want it. Why? What right did he have? In an instant, Qin Xiaotian felt that the gap between himself and Lin Xian was so big. Shouldn't he be the one to crush Lin Xian, and trample Lin Xian under his feet? But now, whether it was the attention, the treatment, or the fact that Lin Xian didn't want this incomparably precious treatment in Qin Xiaoyan's eyes, he felt that he was being trampled under Lin Xian's feet in all aspects. No, it's just that his luck is good. It's only because he has the spatial attribute. If I also had the spatial attribute, I would definitely be much stronger than him. The three major powers would definitely use more generous treatment to rope me in. That's right. Qin Xiaotian comforted himself in his heart. Lin Xian smiled and said, I said before that I will rely on my own strength to obtain this quota. Moreover, I am confident that I can obtain it. Why should I need you to give it to me? Instead, I am a member of the Holy Temple. I will owe you a favor and help the Holy Temple. As for the Holy Temple and the various cultivation resources of the Trial Union, I believe that I will be able to obtain even better in the future. So I'm sorry everyone. Lin Xian is indebted to the Trial Union and the Holy Temple. I like freedom. Lin Xian could enter the God's Awakening door through his own efforts. Cultivation resources, martial skills, spirit weapons. Did Lin Xian lack them? Yes, he lacked them for the time being. However, which of the scumbag man system's martial skills weren't heaven-defying? Which of the martial skills weren't stronger than the treasures of the major powers? There was no need for that. Then why did Lin Xian want to join? If he joined, he would be restricted everywhere. The so-called freedom was actually useless. Especially for this favor. It would be too difficult to repay it once it was owed. No one thought that Lin Xian would reject it. They really didn't expect it. They even admired Lin Xian. If it was any one of them, not to mention the Holy Temple, even the Trial Union's conditions would be the first thing they would agree to. However, Lin Xian actually rejected them all. You're not joking? Lu Namfeng confirmed again. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, thank you for your kind intentions. I've decided, so I'm sorry to have wasted your trip. Lu Namfeng let out a sigh. What an idiot. This God's Awakening door was a place that he didn't have the right to enter in this lifetime. Alright, but if you decide to change your mind, you can look for me at any time in the Holy Sanctum. Then I won't disturb you all. Lu Namfeng gave a slight nod to Xiao Runing, before leaving with the pair of twins behind him. Then we'll go back too. Sorry for the disturbance, Zhang Man said to Lin Xian. She did not even have the courage to ask Lin Xian to look for her in the Trial Union, if he changed his mind. She did not have the right to do so. Lin Xian had already rejected the treatment offered by the Divine Temple. So how could the Trial Union be able to do so? It was not that the Trial Union was inferior to the Holy Temple. The Trial Union also had their own heaven-defying resources, but the higher-ups didn't inform them. The Bounty Hunter Guild didn't come. Logically speaking, they should have come, but for some reason they didn't. Could it be that Miao Jinghao knew about Lin Xian's thoughts and told the Bounty Hunter Guild? Let's go. Lin Xian waved his hand, and everyone went back to do their own things. Qin Xiaotian felt that he couldn't stay there any longer. He was asking for humiliation. He couldn't believe that he would one day have to see the light of another person. And this person was someone he had once trampled under his feet. But before that, Qin Xiaotian wanted to confirm something. He believed that Lin Xian must know. Junior Lin Xian, I have to say that I admire you. You can actually reject such treatment. Qin Xiaotian said with a smile as he patted Lin Xian's shoulder. Young Master Qin, you're too kind. But if you were me, would you make the same choice as me? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Qin Xiaotian said with a smile. I think there's a high chance that I would make the same choice as you. You're right. We can rely on our own abilities and hard work to enter the God's Awakening door. If we accept their favor, we'll owe them a favor. In this era, it's best not to owe favors. Lin Xian sneered in his heart. You're still pretending to be noble here. Yi Yi and Lu Yufan didn't know much about them. They only heard that they were quite powerful. But they weren't as shocked by Lin Xian's rejection as compared to those people. Lin Xian, tomorrow there's a plan by the three major forces to clear out Linfeng City. I wonder if you're aware of it? Qin Xiaotian asked. Lin Xian nodded. I know. Why? This is a good opportunity to go out and train. There are a lot of demonic beasts in Linfeng City. Even I don't dare to go there. So I suggest that you follow them. Lin Xian sneered in his heart. This Qin Xiaotian was starting to encourage him to go out. It seemed that Qin Xiaotian couldn't hold back anymore. He probably wanted to use the opportunity in the demonic beast domain to get rid of him. That's right. Qin Xiaotian really couldn't hold back anymore. And he really wanted to get rid of Lin Xian in the demonic beast domain. In the demonic beast domain, there was no surveillance or anything like that. It was definitely the safest place. Even if they went together and Lin Xian died, Qin Xiaotian could say that he was killed by a demonic beast. Chu Haohan hadn't made a move yet. Qin Xiaotian felt that if he could find a chance to kill Lin Xian in the demonic beast domain, it would save him a lot of trouble. And in the demonic beast domain, Qin Xiaotian didn't think that Lin Xian had any means to guard against him. So he was testing Lin Xian's attitude. If Lin Xian were to go as well, then this would be the perfect opportunity. And I'm going too. Is young Master Qin going too? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Qin Xiaotian was overjoyed. That's great. Then he nodded. Yes, this is a rare opportunity. Naturally, I have to go too. I might even be able to go all the way. Lin Xian smiled. That's great. Although there are so many experts, it would be best if there was an expert like young Master Qin protecting me. Qin Xiaotian wanted to make a move on him? Then Lin Xian might not be afraid. On the contrary, he might be able to catch him outside. For Lin Xian, this was also a chance to expose Qin Xiaotian's mask. Ha ha ha. I can't be considered an expert. Then we'll see when the time comes. If that's the case, I'll go back first. I'll go back first. Yi nodded slightly, and then Qin Xiaotian walked back. He had a smile on his face because he was in a good mood. He was in a good mood because he felt that Lin Xian would die in the demonic beast domain this time. This problem would be completely eradicated by him. Chapter 158. Xiao Runing walked over, looked at Lin Xian and said, "The Holy Temple is giving you a very good treatment. I think you should consider it." God's awakening door. To be honest, in my opinion, even Qin Xiaotian's chances of entering the top 10 is less than 10%. No, it's at most 1%. The top geniuses from the 5 great empires are all at the same level as him. It's too difficult. So think about it. It's a very powerful place. It will change you. Lin Xian smiled and said, I've already made my decision. Naturally, I've already thought about it. I don't want to change it. All right, I'm just giving you a suggestion. It's fine if you've thought it through. Xiao Runing was about to leave when she suddenly thought of something. She looked at Lin Xian and said, You're going to Linfeng City tomorrow? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, it's an opportunity. I want to go and take a look. Be careful. Although there's a large group following you, you still have to be careful. Also, you have to be careful. Don't get separated from others. At that distance, with your strength, if you get separated, you'll be in danger. Lin Xian nodded. I know. Moreover, I'll be going with Senior Linging tomorrow. Even if I don't understand, she'll definitely be able to help me. That's fine too. It'll be fine with Linging supervising you. Be careful not to act recklessly. Linfeng City is more than 100 kilometers away from here. If you act recklessly, you won't be able to imagine the consequences. You have to remember that you still have your sister. Lin Xian made a sound of acknowledgement. He felt that this trip was safe. That was why he went. As for Qin Xiaotian, he was indeed a hidden danger. However, if Lin Xian wanted to be safe, he could just follow behind the group. Qin Xiaotian definitely wouldn't be able to find a chance to attack. There was still Ling Ying. After Ling Ying and Lin Xian had sex twice, her realm had increased by 4 stars. She was a bit lazy, but it wasn't that she was lazy. She just liked to do whatever she wanted. She didn't like to kill monsters like everyone else, so normally, her level would fall behind Han Chuxue, Qin Xiaotian, and the others. However, because she had increased by 4 stars, she directly reached 10 stars of the Arcane Body stage, which meant that she was about to enter the Arcane Heaven stage, the highest stage of the Arcane Body stage. She wasn't afraid of Qin Xiaotian. Therefore, Lin Xian could guarantee his own safety. Xiao Runing then walked away. Yi Yi and Lu Yufan quickly came over. Lin Xian, you're going to Linfeng City? I heard about it. But my family didn't allow me to go. I didn't dare to go. Lu Yufan whispered. Yi Yi also nodded. They were all rich young ladies, but they weren't like Han Chuxue. They weren't cultivation maniacs. How easy would it be to live a beautiful life and marry an outstanding man? It was especially dangerous to cultivate. In any case, their families wanted them to be safe. Of course, they needed to cultivate, but they didn't need to be in a high realm. In the future, they could spend money to find experts to bring them to the mysterious body realm, or even the mysterious heaven realm. Why did they have to cultivate in such a dangerous manner? Wouldn't it be better to be a rich young lady? It was also because of their family's mentality that they weren't cultivation maniacs. Indeed, there weren't many girls who were cultivation maniacs. After all, in this era, the strong were respected. However, as long as a girl had a beautiful appearance, she would have the entire world. Don't go. Your levels are too low. Even if you follow someone, you might be in danger if you're not careful. Then you have to be careful. Don't worry. Lin Xian smiled. However, Lin Xian rejected the invitation of two major powers. Even the news of the gods' awakening door spread. Lin Xian became a famous figure once again. If it was just playing hard to get, others wouldn't be interested. However, Lin Xian really rejected it. If he didn't join any power in the future, then these people would really admire Lin Xian. It would be admiration from the bottom of their hearts. After school, Lin Xian went home. Linya came back early today. She probably came to make dinner for Lin Xian. She didn't want Lin Xian to cook. During dinner, Lin Xian said to Linya, "Little fairy, I'm going to the demon beast domain tomorrow." Linya's chopsticks paused for a moment. Then, she slightly nodded and looked at Lin Xian. Is it dangerous? She didn't have the right to stop Lin Xian from going, because Lin Xian needed to improve his strength. She was only worried about Lin Xian's safety. The simple question, "Is it dangerous?" was filled with concern for Linya. It's not dangerous. I'm going with a group of tens of thousands of people. There are also many experts. There's basically no danger. I've heard about this. Are you going to go out with the main forces of the three major forces? Lin Xian nodded. After hearing Lin Xian's words, Linya was slightly relieved. With tens of thousands of people going out together, even if there was danger, they would definitely be able to eliminate it with so many people. Therefore, she wasn't as worried as before. Linya had also heard about the previous incident. She knew about how dangerous the trial in the Sky Martial Court was, how many people Lin Xian had saved, and even about Lin Xian's spatial attribute. This matter couldn't be kept a secret. Linya only needed to eavesdrop a little to know about it. However, she didn't confirm it with Lin Xian. She felt that since it was already in the past, so be it. Why should she discuss it with Lin Xian? It was meaningless. She only hoped that Lin Xian would be safe. This was her only wish. She was very curious about the spiritual equipment Lin Xian had given her, and the experience fruit that allowed her to level up without killing monsters. However, she didn't ask about it. She only needed to know that Lin Xian wouldn't mistreat her. She only needed to silently care for Lin Xian and take care of the things in his house for him. This was what Linya could do. When will you be back? Linya asked. Lin Xian shook his head. I'm not too sure. It's more than 100 kilometers away. With so many people, it'll take a long time to go back and forth. Normally, it'll take 3 to 4 hours to travel 100 kilometers in the demonic beast territory. It'll take 6 to 7 hours for a round trip. If we stay there for a while, I'm afraid it'll be the next day at the earliest. The next day, then remember to send me a message. Lin Xian affectionately scratched Linya's delicate nose and smiled. Don't worry, little fairy, you're the most important. Sweet talker. Linya rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. However, she was happy and a little shy. No matter how big the world is, your life is the most important. Linya said. No, you're more important than my life. Lin Xian said seriously. Linya's heart trembled slightly. Her beautiful eyes stared blankly at Lin Xian. What's wrong? Lin Xian looked at Linya and wanted to laugh. Little Xian, you can't have these kinds of thoughts. Linya looked at Lin Xian seriously. Why? My life isn't important, but your life is different. You can't have these kinds of thoughts in the future. Pada. Lin Xian put his chopsticks on the table. He used a little too much strength. Linya was shocked. Chapter 159. Lin Xian looked at Linya with a serious expression. There was even a hint of anger on his face. This was the first time Linya had seen Lin Xian angry. She suddenly felt very nervous. She didn't know what she said wrong to make Lin Xian angry. Little fairy, if you say something like that again, I'll really get angry. Lin Xian said seriously. What do you mean your life isn't important? Why is my life more important than yours? Linya didn't know how to respond to Lin Xian. In my eyes, you're more important than anything else. You're not allowed to say that again. Linya lowered her head like a child who had done something wrong. I understand. That's right. Although she looked a little wronged, Linya slowly felt warm in her heart. Little fairy, tomorrow night. Why don't you ask Miss Xiao to sleep with you? Linya raised her head and looked at Lin Xian with a suspicious expression. Why? We just slept together last night. What if something happened to Ning Ning? Then you should ask her. At most, you two can go shopping tonight and watch a movie to relax. Then you can let her sleep at home. Lin Xian said. He was actually worried. He felt that if Qin Xiaotian found out that he was out, would he find someone to make a move on Linya? Linya had the ice spirit snow-congealed pearl that Lin Xian had given to her to protect her. But he felt that at least with Xiao Runing accompanying her tomorrow night, he would feel more at ease. As for why Lin Xian wouldn't tell Linya, he didn't want her to be afraid. Okay, then I'll ask her tomorrow. Linya didn't know what Lin Xian was trying to do, but she saw that Lin Xian was very serious. She only needed to know that Lin Xian wouldn't harm her. In that case, all she had to do was to follow Lin Xian's instructions. As for Xiao Runing, Lin Xian also planned to tell her. As for the reason, he would just make it up. That night, Lin Xian didn't sleep with Linya because he was thinking about something. Even if they slept together, he wouldn't be in the mood to do anything. The next morning, Lin Xian made breakfast and left. He called a taxi and drove to Ling Ying's house. Miss Xiao, Lin Xian called. What's the matter? It was rare for Lin Xian to call her. Xiao Runing was more curious. Nothing much. I just had dinner with my little fairy last night. She wants to go shopping and watch a movie with you tonight. Do you have time? Xiao Runing couldn't help but laugh. You can just tell me this. Why would I bother you? That's right. You also know that my little fairy is extremely cold when she's outside, but she's extremely gentle when she's at home. Actually, she's a very shy person when she's with her friends. Ha ha ha. I know that. I have nothing to do every day. Of course I'm happy to go. Lin Xian smirked. You're not a good teacher. You have nothing to do every day. People who don't know would think that you're a teacher. Do you think that I'm a cultural teacher in Tianhua Academy? The teachers in Sky Martial Court don't have much to do. Okay, I'm going out. I'll look for your sister when I don't have class. Also, be careful when you go to the beast territory. You must be careful. Lin Xian felt warm in his heart. He nodded. Got it. Bye-bye, Mua. You're not serious. Xiao Runing complained and then hung up the phone. Phew. Lin Xian breathed a sigh of relief. If that was the case, Linya shouldn't be in danger. Then, Lin Xian could focus on his own matters. There were only two reasons for this trip. First, to broaden his horizons. In Lin Xian's impression, he had only stayed in Tianhua City. At most, he had gone as far as Deep Cold Valley some time ago. Actually, he knew too little about the outside world. At most, he learned about it from the internet. Broadening one's horizons was very important. And it was also related to experience. For example, those who went out often would know the distance, the level of the beasts, where it was dangerous, where there were fewer beasts, and so on. These were all very important. The second reason was to level up. It was more than 100 kilometers away from where humans lived. Naturally, God Concentration Realm beasts were as common as dogs. Arcane Body Realm beasts were everywhere. Lin Xian needed to level up his realm. He was now a 4-star Arcane Body Realm cultivator. The 2-star reward from completing the mission was an unexpected reward. But it was still not enough. He needed to reach at least 6-star. Only then would he have some confidence in dealing with a 10-star arcane body realm cultivator. Fighting a 4-star arcane body realm cultivator wasn't too difficult for Lin Xian. But if it was Qin Xiaoyan's level, it would still be difficult. Lin Xian didn't know exactly what Qin Xiaoyan's realm was. He planned for the worst-case scenario, 10-star arcane body realm. He couldn't possibly be at the arcane heaven realm. Click. With Ling Ying's house key, Lin Xian opened the door and walked in. Ling Ying was wearing pink kawaii pajamas and lying on the sofa. She was playing with her phone with her legs crossed. Then, she sat up and looked at Lin Xian warily. What's with that expression? Don't tell me you're chatting with other guys behind my back? Lin Xian told her that he would come over. Because he was delivering breakfast to her. He made Lin Ya's breakfast. Naturally, he also made one for Ling Ying. What a scumbag system. Lin Xian felt that he was a warm guy. Lin Xian placed the breakfast on the table for Ling Ying. He opened it and said, "Hurry up and eat." "What's the hurry? The team only departs at 10. Ling Ying walked over in her slippers and put a piece of meat paste cake made by Lin Xian into her mouth. "Oh, your craftsmanship is really good." Lin Xian smiled. "Nonsense. I was counting on you to serve me. Now it's me serving you." "I told you to hurry up, because I have to go to the Bounty Hunter Guild to find some friends before 9. Okay, sit down and eat too." Ling Ying knew that Lin Xian had finished cooking, but she hadn't eaten yet. "Feed me." Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying and grinned. "How dare you?" Ling Ying rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Then, she pinched a small piece of meat and handed it over. "Open your mouth." Lin Xian sucked Ling Ying's finger into his mouth. Ling Ying quickly pulled it back. "Pervert." Ling Ying's face turned slightly red. "I heard about what happened yesterday afternoon. Why didn't you agree to the God's Awakening door?" Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian and asked. It was easy for Ling Ying to find out about this. However, she was shocked when she heard it. The God's Awakening door was also her goal. However, Lin Xian didn't want this opportunity. To put it simply, I don't want to be tied down by other factions. And I don't want to owe anyone a favor. God's Awakening door. Why do I have to force them to give me this opportunity? Why can't I fight for a spot with my own strength like everyone else? Lin Xian took a bite and looked at Ling Ying as he spoke. About that, someone actually said that they won't update. Damn. The update time is between 12 and 12:10 every day. Don't say that again, after you finish all 5 chapters. Sob sob sob. Chapter 160. Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian and saw that he was really serious. Big brother, are you serious? What big brother? Call me hubby. Ling Ying's pretty face turned slightly red, and then her bare foot stomped on Lin Xian's foot. I'm serious. I don't really understand you, but it's fine as long as you have your own way of thinking. But, if you want to fight for this spot, the difficulty is unimaginable. I have a rough idea. Maybe it's just my doing, ha ha ha. Ling Ying rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. If Lin Xian had his own way of thinking, what she couldn't understand, in Ling Ying's opinion, Lin Xian must have his own reasons. After all, Ling Ying didn't think that Lin Xian was a fool. I'm done eating. Ling Ying wiped her hands. What time is it now? Lin Xian asked. Ling Ying looked at her phone and said, 7:30. There's still an hour and a half before the hotel you mentioned. Then there's something very important to do now. Lin Xian wiped his hands and said. What? In the next second Lin Xian picked up Ling Ying. Hee, what did you say? Let me go. Ling Ying, who was in Lin Xian's arms, punched him with all her might. You bastard. Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian with a face full of shame and anger. This Lin Xian doesn't know how to control himself. The most infuriating thing was that he made her lie on the glass wall and look at the ant-like crowd below before doing that kind of thing. Damn it. Yeah, I'm a bastard. So. Lin Xian grinned. Ling Ying was truly helpless. Sometimes this Lin Xian was quite mature, but at other times, he was especially childish. It was the kind that you had to pamper him and do whatever he wanted. If you didn't, he wouldn't be happy. Ling Ying really had no other way. Since she had chosen to be Lin Xian's girlfriend, she could only accept it. But, even though she was unhappy, She actually felt that she could still accept it. It was still acceptable for the time being. After all, if there was a first time, there would be a second time. After that, she became even more open-minded. In the past, she had never thought that she liked Lin Xian. Even after returning from the wilderness with him, she didn't think that she liked him. However, 2 days ago, after Lin Xian came to her house to confirm their relationship, Ling Ying inexplicably felt that she actually liked him. He really didn't understand. Get off me. It's already 8:30. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian and said, Can you not be like this in the future? No. Lin Xian. Then can you bring a condom? Ling Ying was almost begging. No, it doesn't feel good. Ling Ying. Then do you know that taking medicine every day isn't good for your body? Lin Xian then said, You're a warrior and your realm is close to the mysterious heaven realm. You shouldn't be worried about your body, right? Scram. Scumbag. Ling Ying couldn't help but curse. Ding, detected scumbag behavior. Scumbag value plus 500,000. Hee, I like that name. Lin Xian grinned. Hey, I'm up. I'm going to change. Can you walk? Lin Xian asked. Che, how strong do you think you are? Ling Ying laughed in disdain and walked away. Ha ha ha. Hearing Ling Ying's words, Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. I'm not strong. At first, Lin Xian didn't know if she was strong or not. But this girl had already begged for mercy. How could she not be strong? Ling Ying changed into a casual outfit and walked out of the room. When it came to fighting, Ling Ying still liked to wear looser clothes. My wife is so beautiful. Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying and couldn't help but praise. She didn't have any makeup on. Sure enough, those with good looks were confident enough. She didn't need any makeup at all. This was a true beauty. Who's your wife? Don't talk nonsense. Ling Ying gritted her teeth. But when she heard Lin Xian's praise, she was still very happy. Hee, let's go. Do you want me to carry you? Sure. Come. Then Ling Ying jumped onto Lin Xian's back, and the two of them walked out. Don't move your hands. Ling Ying was helpless. Pervert. Put me down. Lin Xian didn't put Ling Ying down until they were out of the building. Go away. I hate you so much. Pervert. Pervert. Ling Ying's face was red as she rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. She was still angry, so she stepped on Lin Xian's foot. Lin Xian. Hey, when did you learn to step on other people's feet? You were never like this before. Lin Xian glanced at Ling Ying. Ling Ying snorted and said, I like it. Why do you care? Ling Ying didn't have any other way to deal with Lin Xian. She was Lin Xian's girlfriend now. How could she treat Lin Xian as fiercely as before? She also wanted to. Sometimes, Lin Xian was simply too much of a bully, but she was too embarrassed to use violence. It was probably because she had become Lin Xian's girlfriend, right? Inexplicably, she had a little girly side to her. This was something that Ling Ying had never thought about before. She had thought about what it would be like if she had a boyfriend in the future. She would be served by her boyfriend in all kinds of ways. Her boyfriend would cook for her. Her boyfriend would wash her feet. Her boyfriend would coax her. And only when she was happy could they have sex. If she wasn't, she would kick him away. If she told him to go shopping, he would go shopping. If she bought him clothes, he would wear them. In short, it was women's rights. Ling Ying was the boss. Her boyfriend had to pamper her, protect her, and spoil her no matter what. But now, F***CK. It was the complete opposite of what she had imagined, okay? She had to serve Lin Xian. When Lin Xian was unhappy, he would push her down. When he was happy, he would push her down. She had to dress Lin Xian and cook for him. She was so outstanding. It wasn't that she was too aloof. She still had a certain understanding of herself. Her looks, temperament, family background, and so on were all excellent. But now, she was being bullied by Lin Xian to this extent. The key point was that she couldn't even get angry. Can't I control you? Lin Xian smiled at Ling Ying. No, thank you. Fine, just you wait. Lin Xian said ruthlessly. Ling Ying's delicate body trembled slightly. This Lin Xian couldn't be going to. She was really scared. She was convinced. Don't, you can control me, okay? Ling Ying actually acted coquettishly. I like it. To be able to make this kind of girl act coquettishly, Lin Xian felt that he was amazing. Ling Ying felt wronged. Who did she offend? Lin Xian extended his arm to Ling Ying. Ling Ying hesitated for a moment. Then, Ling Ying held Lin Xian's arm. That's more like it. Get lost. Don't make me angry. Ling Ying was unhappy again. She was being controlled by Lin Xian. Ha ha ha. Hearing Ling Ying's words, Lin Xian was happy. He felt that if Ling Ying was unhappy, Lin Xian, was especially happy. Was this a problem? Little Ying going to school. An auntie walking her dog saw them. Ling Ying smiled faintly and nodded. Good morning, Auntie Wu. Going to school. Auntie Wu looked at Lin Xian and smiled. Is this your boyfriend? We've been neighbors for 2 years. Finally, you have a boyfriend. Chapter 161. Ling Ying blushed slightly. Due to her beautiful appearance, she received a lot of attention. At the same time, Ling Ying would also help her out, so she had a good relationship with her neighbors. Many people even wanted to introduce their sons to Ling Ying as her boyfriend. Mother Wu had also done that, but she had no choice. How could Ling Ying agree? However, she was still surprised when she saw Lin Xian. If he could catch Ling Ying's attention, he should be different, right? Yes, he's my boyfriend, Ling Ying said softly. I can see that. Come to Mother Wu's house for a meal when you're free, young man. Mother Wu said to Lin Xian with a smile. Okay, thank you, Mother Wu. This was just a small interlude. They soon left. I thought you wouldn't tell outsiders that I'm your boyfriend, Lin Xian said to Ling Ying with a smile. Tisk, it's the truth after all. Moreover, it was seen. I just didn't want to tell those people from the Sky Marshal Court. It would cause a lot of trouble. It's so annoying. Oh, you're not saying that I'm weak now? Lin Xian smirked. Ling Ying. Go to hell. Ling Ying then swept his leg over. Lin Xian easily dodged it. They hailed a cab and arrived at the Bounty Hunter Guild. They could already see the members of the Gale mercenaries outside. Brother Xian. Lin Xian. Chu Meng and Wang Ba saw Lin Xian and immediately walked over happily. They gave him a bear hug. Miao Xiaomiao walked over to Lin Xian and handed Lin Xian a badge. She said, This is the badge for registration. Don't lose it. You can use this to get your reward when you come back. Here's your ID. You look so ugly on your ID. Lin Xian. Show me your ID if you have the guts. I'm a natural beauty, so of course I'm devastatingly beautiful on my identity card. Miao Xiaomiao said proudly, but she refused to let Lin Xian see. Lin Xian, this is? Wang Ba looked at Ling Ying. At first glance, he was deeply defeated by her appearance. When Chu Meng, Wang Xian and Zhang Bin, who were of the same age, saw a beauty of this level, it was needless to say. Oh, Ling Ying, my friend. She's also going to the demonic beast domain, so she's going with everyone. Lin Xian said. When introducing Ling Ying, Lin Xian hesitated for a moment. Should he say girlfriend? In the end, he chose not to say anything. Ling Ying wasn't a weak girl, nor was she shy with strangers. Since they were Lin Xian's friends, she naturally introduced them to each other and got to know them. Miao Xiaomiao looked at Ling Ying a few more times. She was really beautiful. She was definitely one of the prettiest girls she had ever seen. An inexplicable sense of hostility arose. It was a subtle feeling that came from the feelings between girls. Suddenly, Miao Xiaomiao remembered that Lin Xian said he was going to bang girls. Could it be this girl? No way. She was so beautiful and had such a good temperament. On the other hand, Lin Xian was just a loser. How could it be? Miao Xiaomiao was comforting herself. She didn't understand why she had such a feeling. Maybe she didn't realize it herself? Ding. Sense jealousy from Miao Xiaomiao. Scumbag value plus 20,000. Jealousy? Lin Xian heard the notification and couldn't help but laugh in his heart. Little girl. She even learned how to be jealous. She was jealous of Ling Ying. Then it must be because of him? And she was proud. The system had perfectly displayed all her emotions to Lin Xian. Lin Xian probably knew what she was thinking even better than Miao Xiaomiao. Then, Ling Ying and Miao Xiaomiao looked at each other. Hello, big sister Ling Ying, I'm Miao Xiaomiao. Miao Xiaomiao said obediently. Hello, you're very pretty. You'll definitely be a very pretty girl when you grow up. Linging smiled. Big sister is also very pretty. Miao Xiaomiao said. Lin Xian. Was this how girls chatted? Something's not right. Something's not right. Alright. You're both pretty. Alright. It's getting late. We have to hurry. Lin Xian said. You also know that it's getting late? Miao Xiaomiao rolled her eyes at Lin Xian and said. You almost came on time. Cough cough. Isn't this every night? You said 9. And it's only 8:30. There's still half an hour to go. Why did I come on time? Humph. Miao Xiaomiao snorted and didn't say anything. Linging blushed slightly and turned her face away. They came at this time because that bastard Lin Xian did something bad again. Otherwise, they would have come long ago. Each of them carried a bag with some necessities, including gene medicine. There were basically 2 types of gene medicine: healing and spiritual energy value. The effect could only be said to be okay, but Lin Xian had never used it before. To be precise, he didn't have much battle experience, so he had never considered this point. Linging also brought one, but hers was in her interspatial ring. Linging had a ring on her hand, which was a spatial ring. In reality, it was equivalent to a spatial storage type spirit tool. However, it was very rare and couldn't be bought. Basically, only warriors with status and background could get one. Lin Xian really wanted one. However, Lin Xian found that Miao Xiaomiao also had a ring. Although he hadn't seen her take anything out of it, such a young girl couldn't possibly be wearing a ring, right? It was probably a spatial spirit tool too. Then, they got in the car and drove out of Tianhua City. Along the way, they saw a lot of people heading in the same direction outside Tianhua City. They probably had the same goal as them. After all, there were more than 50,000 people on this expedition. Naturally, many people in Tianhua City were a part of it. I'll go. When they arrived at Tianhua City's barrier, Lin Xian saw that the open space outside was densely packed with people. At a glance, he could tell that they were divided into a few echelons. The members of the Holy Temple, the Judgment Union, and the Bounty Hunter Guild were very orderly, standing upright like soldiers. On the other side were temporary soldiers like Lin Xian and the others. At a glance, there were no less than 20,000 people. They were being checked one by one, similar to ticket checking. After all, if you registered, they wanted to know whether you were going or not. Otherwise, who could accept the bounty if they didn't register? There are so many people. Lin Xian couldn't help but mutter. Ha ha ha, we'll be safer with more people, right? Wang Ba laughed. Lin Xian smiled and nodded. That's true. Then, they went to the back to line up together. Please show me your identification badge. Lin Xian took out his identification badge, and the staff scanned it. Identification confirmed. Warrior Lin Xian. Go over and line up. The identity check was probably done directly and stored in a system. Anyway, there wouldn't be any mistakes or omissions. After all, they were registered according to their identification. Chapter 162. Around 9:30, most of the people who came up had finished their inspection. They were divided into many groups, each group having no less than 1,000 people, and each group was led by a very strong expert. Linging, are you here too? Qin Xiaotian seemed to be looking for them, and then stood together with them. When he saw Linging, he revealed a surprised expression. This was going to be difficult. If Lin Xian and Linging stayed together, then it would be even harder for him to find an opportunity to make a move. This was bad news. Qin Xiaotian? Linging was also surprised when she saw Qin Xiaotian. However, after thinking about it, it made sense. Although he had just returned, Linfeng City was a good opportunity for them to farm monsters. At the same time, it was relatively safe. It was possible for him to go there. However, Linging knew that there might be some kind of hostile relationship between Qin Xiaotian and Lin Xian, so she couldn't help but think more when she saw Qin Xiaotian at such an opportunity. Everyone who went to the beast domain had to pay more attention and be careful. This should be a habit that every martial artist had to develop. Not only did they have to pay attention to the beasts, but they also had to pay attention to the people. In the beast domain, it was a place where the 3 major forces couldn't reach. The martial artists here could do whatever they wanted. You could casually kill other martial artists to gain experience and level up, even if you weren't from the evil fiend temple. Therefore, the people outside were very bold, and would also kill people. Therefore, there were even people who invited their enemies to the beast domain, or secretly followed them to the beast domain to make a move. This was actually very common. Therefore, Ling Ying would pay more attention. The main thing was that she roughly knew that Lin Xian and Qin Xiaotian didn't get along. Qin Xiaotian smiled. What? Are you surprised to see me? No, I just felt that you just came back and went out. So you were quite busy. Qin Xiaotian smiled. As a martial artist, it's a bit tiring, so what if I'm busy? What's more, this is for us humans. As a martial artist, I naturally have to take responsibility. This is my purpose of living and strengthening myself. Everything is for the world. Isn't that what everyone thinks? Sorry, I'm really not. Ling Ying slapped himself in the face at the speed of light, and then said, I'm just here to mess around. I'm following these experts to see if I can kill a few high-level demon beasts. As for the humans, that's secondary. Lin Xian loved Ling Ying to death. It's not good for a woman to be too smart, but being smart has its benefits. Now, seeing Qin Xiaoyan's awkward expression, Lin Xian sneered in his heart. That's right. We're all here to make a living. We can't compare to young Master Qin who cares about the world, Lin Xian said. They were indeed here to mess around. As for the sake of humanity, they also had this thought, but it was definitely the former. Among these 50,000 people, there were probably less than 100 who were truly fighting for the world. 99% of the 10,000 members of the three factions had the same thought as Lin Xian and the others. There were also orders from the factions, but ultimately, they were mostly selfish and for their own benefit. There were indeed people who truly cared about the world, but they were few and far between. Those people were people that Lin Xian admired greatly. But Qin Xiaotian was strong for the sake of the world? Lin Xian chuckled. What the F***ck are you talking about? In order to make some money and gain some experience from killing demonic beasts, I brought everyone here. After hearing Big Brother young Master Qin's words, I'm really embarrassed. I actually didn't think of the world at all. Miao Xiao Miao said with an embarrassed expression. But how could Lin Xian not know that she was actually helping him? This Miao Xiao Miao was very smart. This girl was not bad. She was promising. Qin Xiaoyan's face stiffened. Then he smiled and said, That's true. My wish is to join the upper echelons of the three factions and have real power. That way, I can do more for the continent. Qin Xiaotian couldn't go back on his words and say that he was also here to make a living. He had already said that he was doing it for the sake of the world. If he changed his words, he would be looked down upon by others. He could only brace himself and say that. What made him unhappy was that these people all said that they were here to make a living. But he was the only one who felt that he was doing it for the sake of the world. That's right, he was indeed fake. But he felt that others would also think that he was fake and hypocritical. Thus Qin Xiaotian was filled with hatred. What could he do? He could only brace himself and say it. I'll go find my friends first. We're a team of 1,000 people. Although we have a lot of people, it's still very dangerous. So, when the time comes, everyone should take care of each other. With that, Qin Xiaotian left with a dark face. He had no choice but to leave. How could he stay here and embarrass himself? Hee, this person is very hypocritical. Miao Xiao Miao said as she took out a piece of chocolate from her pocket and peeled it. Xiao Miao, why do you say that? Ling Ying also peeled a lollipop and asked Miao Xiao Miao curiously. In the next second, the lollipop that had just been peeled was snatched away by Lin Xian and put into his mouth. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian fiercely and stepped on his foot. He had no choice but to take another one. It's very simple. People are all selfish. How many people in this world are truly chivalrous and caring for the world? Of course, there are many who don't wish for planet Aqua Blue to become the territory of the demonic beasts. However, there are far too few who truly care about the world. That's why I don't believe what he said. Miao Xiao Miao said with a serious expression. Lin Xian smiled and asked, Then what if he's one of those very few people who truly care about the world's safety? Impossible, this young lady is quite good at judging people. He's indeed very handsome, very bright, and has a very positive vibe. But although he's smiling when he's talking, his eyes inadvertently look to the side. That's a sign of guilt. Miao Xiaomiao said solemnly. Lin Xian smiled. Of course he knew what kind of person Qin Xiaotian was. Ah, you don't believe me. Seeing Lin Xian smile, Miao Xiaomiao went crazy. She even spoke up for Lin Xian. But this Lin Xian actually didn't believe her. F***ck. I smiled because I don't believe you? I believe you. Lin Xian said dumbfoundedly. Humph. You better be speaking from the bottom of your heart. Otherwise, this young lady won't stand on your side even in front of outsiders. Miao Xiaomiao snorted proudly. Aren't you able to read people's minds? Then why don't you know if I was speaking from the bottom of my heart just now? Nonsense. If this young lady could really read other people's minds, I wouldn't be here. It's just that I've learned some things before. Miao Xiaomiao was quite confident in her knowledge. She was too smart and had a photographic memory. Alright, there's someone in front. Lin Xian didn't want to talk about this with her. The most important thing now was still Linfeng City. At the front, a burly man in armor walked in front of everyone with an imposing aura. Everyone please be quiet. Chapter 163. Lin Xian asked Ling Ying. The one wearing the armor should be from the Divine Palace, right? Ling Ying nodded. Yes, the Divine Palace is wearing this kind of armor. It's made of special materials and is considered a spiritual artifact. It can withstand part of the power. This is what the regular army of the three major forces will be equipped with. The higher your strength and military rank, the stronger the armor you can wear. Lin Xian nodded secretly. It was actually equivalent to the People's Liberation Army's uniform on Earth. It was also equivalent to the armor used by ancient soldiers. The only difference was that this armor was a spiritual artifact, which meant that it was not an ordinary item. Lin Xian glanced at the main army of the three major forces. They were all equipped with this kind of armor, but unlike the man in front of him, theirs were relatively simple. Then, he looked through the crowd at the expert from the Divine Palace. The difference was quite big. Looking at the three major forces, each of them had a few thousand people. They were really well trained and stood in standard positions motionless. On the other hand, the tens of thousands of people looked like they were going for a vacation. But that was normal. After all, they were all gathered together. No one dared to be presumptuous here. It was like a class where the teacher came in and told the students not to speak. No one dared to speak. The tens of thousands of people quieted down. The man glanced at the people below, then said in a dignified voice, Everyone, my name is Qin Feng. I'm the highest leader of the Divine Palace in Tianhua City's border defense area. I believe all of you know about this operation, which is why you are here. This time, you will be the main force of this operation. Go to Linfeng City and eliminate all the monsters there. You will also be escorting the Annihilation. The Annihilation is a powerful nuclear bomb. Unlike ordinary nuclear bombs, the Annihilation will not leave behind any radiation. Its purpose is only to eliminate a large number of monsters. Normal voices could not travel so far, but he was very strong. He used his spiritual power to spread his voice, so that everyone could hear him. Qin Feng paused for a moment before continuing. The heavenly annihilation is mostly escorted by our three forces. Everyone will be led by our experts in groups of 1,000 to clear out the demonic beasts in the periphery of Linfeng City. This is also an opportunity for all of you. Before this, I only have one request. Listen to my orders. I don't want any unnecessary sacrifices. Even if you're not a member of the three major forces, it's most important to listen to your leader's orders, whether it's for everyone or your own lives. Those who disobey orders and sacrifice themselves are not honorable. Instead, they are burdens and may even harm more people. Therefore, each of you has the right to kill those who disobey orders. Hearing Qin Feng's words, everyone could no longer remain calm. Since the other party had said so, they definitely wouldn't dare to disobey the command. Once they disobeyed orders, they would be killed without mercy. Killing people required experience, so it was impossible for them to survive at that time. Anyone who had killed someone before would definitely fight to kill you. Not for anything else, but for the experience. Alright, now that the leaders of each team are in position and familiarize themselves with everyone, we will set off in 10 minutes. Then a few experts from the 3 major forces walked out and stood at the front of each group. They would be the leaders of each team. Lin Xian saw a man in front of him. Then he used his spiritual energy and said, "Hello everyone, I'm Wang Jichao from the Enforcement Union. For this trip, you can call me team leader. The next mission is estimated to end at noon tomorrow. We and the other 2 teams will be clearing the 2 counties in Linqing County and Chang'an County. The estimated time is 24 hours. Time is tight, so I will lead 100 experts from the Enforcement Union to join our team." Wang Jichao. It's him. When the Enforcement Union came to the Sky Marshal Court to recruit him, Wang Jichao was one of them. However, he was relatively invisible at that time, so Lin Xian didn't pay much attention to him. Wang Jichao continued, "For this trip, 1,001 people from the Enforcement Union will be working together. The 101 people from the Enforcement Union will be the main force of the battle. The lowest cultivation level of each of you is 1 star of the Spirit Focus realm. You will be responsible for killing demonic beasts within your realm. However, listen to my orders. Listen to my orders. Do you understand?" "Roger. Good. Now you can chat. Follow the team and set off in 8 minutes." Lin Xian frowned slightly. "I thought there would be tens of thousands of people in this mission, but they are all separated. In this case, the danger level will increase exponentially." Ling Ying said, "Fortunately, it's a team of 1,000 people. The lowest cultivation level of the leader is at least 7 stars of the Thunder Tribulation Realm. 7 stars of the Thunder Tribulation Realm is enough. The most dangerous place is the city. Linqing County and Chang'an County are at the border. Didn't you say there are cultivators in the Law Realm, and even the Domain Realm? They have to escort the Heavenly Annihilation into the center of Linfeng City to detonate it. It's extremely dangerous there, so we need them. Since they didn't dare to release it remotely, they could only escort the nuclear bomb to detonate it. The purpose of this was to greatly reduce the time needed to annihilate the demonic beasts. Otherwise, wouldn't it take 10 days to half a month for 50,000 people to clear out the demonic beasts in a city? What they needed to do was to clear out the border counties. If the bomb couldn't reach them, they would detonate it in the center. The power of the nuclear bomb wasn't too great, so they didn't dare to escort a nuclear bomb that was too powerful. Otherwise, if there was a deviation, the price would be unimaginable. Their method was to escort the nuclear bomb to the center and kill the powerful demonic beasts at the same time. Then, they would use a special barrier to protect the nuclear bomb. If the powerful demonic beasts were killed, no demonic beasts would be able to destroy the barrier. The nuclear bomb's power would only be able to destroy a quarter of the barrier when detonated from the center. The rest would be the task of each team. Actually, it was simpler to get a few nuclear bombs and clear out the entire Linfeng city. This was the simplest method. There was no need for tens of thousands of people to come. However, the more people there were, the more uncontrollable factors there would be. Moreover, according to the country's intention, this was precisely a chance for ordinary martial artists to fight with the army and strengthen themselves on a large scale. Increasing the strength of each person was equivalent to increasing the strength of the human race. Because the people who killed you with the nuclear bomb didn't gain any experience points. They had to be killed. There was no choice. Many people were willing to become members of the 3 forces, but there were very few people who were willing to face danger without fear of death. After all, the greatest combat power of the human race was the entire population. It wasn't just relying on the members of the 3 forces. Therefore, if they succeeded this time, the 5 great empires would use this method in the future. The 3 forces would lead countless people to go out and kill demonic beasts to increase their cultivation. This way, they would only need time to raise the standard of the human martial artists by a level. If they didn't do this, how many people would dare to come to such a distant place to kill stronger demonic beasts? Very, very few. That way, their cultivation would be too slow. If we encounter a demonic beast that our team leader can't deal with, and something happens to him, wouldn't the thousands of us be nothing more than ants? Lin Xian frowned and said. Chapter 164. At first, Lin Xian thought that even if they were to split into batches, they would at least need someone in the Law Realm to lead the team. But if it was only the 7 Stars Thunder Tribulation Realm, and above, and not the Law Realm, Lin Xian felt that it was not enough. Because a Thunder Tribulation Realm demonic beast had appeared 3 kilometers outside Tianhua City. Ling Ying then said, actually, normally, even those in the arcane body realm can go to that place. Even you can go there normally. When we go out to train, we have to travel more than 100 kilometers. To be honest, there aren't that many strong demonic beasts, so it's quite difficult to encounter one. Normally, a Thunder Tribulation Realm demonic beast is enough. Miao Xiaomiao nodded and said, that's true. A Thunder Tribulation Realm demonic beast is enough. Moreover, with their methods, even if they encounter something they can't defeat, they should be able to escape or ask for reinforcements in an instant. Otherwise, they won't be able to answer to the world. Sigh, I just feel uneasy. After what happened outside the Tianhua Academy, I can't help but feel that the monstrous beast domain is very dangerous. No, to be precise, I have a feeling that the monstrous beasts at this stage are very special. I feel that it's different from what you said and what I've seen before. Sigh, I hope I'm thinking too much. Lin Xian said with a sigh. He was also clear that with a Thunder Tribulation Realm demonic beast leading a team of 1,000, and with 100 experts from the Judgment Union accompanying them, it was indeed quite safe. As for escape and reinforcements, it was simple. Spatial power was enough. Spatial power could be easily achieved by using some kind of spatial spiritual tool or crystal. Lin Xian felt that it was definitely possible. If they could not ensure the safety of everyone and made a mistake, then it would be even more impossible for the entire population to advance in strength in the future. This was not what the country wanted to see. The country wanted to use this success to reassure the world, so that they could continue to carry out such activities on a large scale in the future. It could increase the strength of the entire population and take the opportunity to eliminate large numbers of demonic beasts. Wouldn't that be perfect? Therefore, the country would definitely spend a large amount of resources to ensure everyone's safety. This was the foundation of whether or not they could continue with this plan. As for Lin Xian, to be honest, he felt that he might be worrying too much. After all, the world, and even the 3 major powers were not worried. What was he worried about? It was only because he had experienced it personally that he was worried. Moreover, he had no means of escape now. Time, space, and even darkness were all gone. But since it was already like this, he could only go along with it. He could only hope that something with a very small probability wouldn't happen. There was a chance of encountering a powerful demonic beast, but those that surpassed the Thunder Tribulation Realm were actually not too big in this range. The chances were very small. If he had the spatial ability, it would be possible for him to escape. Qin Xiaotian was at the front of the group and didn't come over. 8 minutes later, Wang Jiqiao arrived in front of them with 100 people, and so did the other teams. Everyone, let's head to Chang'an County now. Hopefully, we can clear Chang'an County before midnight. Wang Jiqiao said. Where do we go? Lin Xian looked surprised. Yes. Ling Ying pointed into the distance. Lin Xian looked over. I'll go. This was definitely Lin Xian's first time seeing such a vehicle. It was similar to a train. There were many of them, and each of them was dozens of meters long. Just by looking at the outside, one could feel that they were very hard. The only difference was that they didn't have wheels. Instead, they had the caterpillar tracks of a tank. Country bumpkin. You don't even know this. Ling Ying took the lollipop out of his mouth and taunted Lin Xian. She felt that she had been bullied by Lin Xian too much. She felt very good when she taunted Lin Xian. Damn. How many times have I been to the demonic beast domain? I'm a country bumpkin, just because I haven't seen this kind of train? Lin Xian glared at Ling Ying. Miao Xiao Miao began to explain to Lin Xian. This is called the assault chariot. Each one can carry 1,000 people. It's a specially built chariot. It's a vehicle for large-scale battles. Other than having extremely high defense, it's not too slow either. At the same time, it also has the ability to attack. In short, it's very, very strong. The cost of building each chariot is very high. The resources required to operate it are also very high. To have such a vehicle for us to use, the three big forces. No, the country is already giving us a lot of face. Xiao Miao, you're still young, but you know a lot. Ling Ying became interested in Miao Xiao Miao. Sister Ying, our sister Miao is a genius. Chu Meng smiled. I can see that Lin Xian can't compare to her. Miao Xiao Miao was very pleased with Ling Ying's words. As long as Lin Xian was compared to her, she would feel good. I'll give you a chance to change your words. Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying and snorted. Ling Ying didn't want to back down at first. However, when she saw Lin Xian's eyes, she understood the hidden meaning behind Lin Xian's threat. Bastard. Stinking hooligan. Bastard. Ling Ying had already cursed Lin Xian countless times in her heart. When she thought about how Lin Xian pressed her down on the sofa and bullied her, she was embarrassed, angry, and unhappy. But she had no choice. Who asked her to be the one begging for mercy every time? Ling Ying even suspected that Lin Xian had secretly taken drugs every time. Otherwise, why was he so fierce? Ling Ying had asked this question before. But after she asked it, she didn't want to think about it anymore. She wanted to cry. Cough cough. But actually Lin Xian knows a lot. Ling Ying added helplessly. Lin Xian smiled. This girl was afraid of him. That's more like it. Miao Xiao Miao was surprised. Why did she feel that Ling Ying was afraid of Lin Xian? How should she describe that fear? It wasn't a normal fear. It was hard to describe. That feeling was indescribable. It was as if it wasn't a bad kind of fear. But why would Ling Ying show such emotions to Lin Xian? Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Although Miao Xiao Miao didn't know Ling Ying, she could tell that Ling Ying's appearance and aura meant that she wasn't an ordinary person. She wasn't an ordinary martial artist. She had confidence that came from her every movement. She treated everyone like this. But when it came to Lin Xian, Miao Xiao Miao felt that Ling Ying's confidence was gone. That's right, it was gone. She had insulted Lin Xian purely because she wanted to get back at him. It had to be said that Miao Xiao Miao was too smart. This genius girl definitely lived up to her reputation. If Ling Ying or Lin Xian knew what Miao Xiao Miao was thinking, they would definitely be shocked. Because she was completely right. Ling Ying indeed didn't have confidence in Lin Xian, because she had been bullied to death by Lin Xian. She had insulted Lin Xian because she wanted to get back at him. The few of them chatted and laughed as they followed the large group in front and entered an assault vehicle. The seats in the assault vehicle were similar to those on a plane. Seatbelts were also necessary. Other than that, there was nothing special about it. Instead, it was very empty, because the purpose of the assault vehicle was to transport large numbers of people. Chapter 165. After getting into their seats, the chariots sped towards the direction of Linfeng City, maintaining an average speed of around 90 kilometers per hour. This was already quite an exaggeration. Because the road was no longer maintained, it was full of potholes. Furthermore, the chariot had tracks instead of wheels. Under such circumstances, it was already very impressive to be able to reach a speed of 90 kilometers per hour. However, it was a little shaky. The others were so nervous that they were about to die. Lin Xian and the rest were still leisurely playing mobile games. Along the way, they could see many demonic beasts in various positions. However, these demonic beasts usually did not dare to move. Furthermore, the chariot was quite fast, so there was nothing they could do. Half an hour later, a commotion broke out in the chariot. Everyone was pointing at the chariot outside the window. F***CK. What kind of demonic beast is that? It's so fast, it's actually chasing after us. I'm so unhappy. I really want to go down and kill it. Lin Xian also looked over, just in time to see the demonic beast. This was a leopard-type demonic beast. Its entire body was golden in color. At this moment, It was continuously chasing after the chariot. From the looks of it, it would be very easy for it to overtake the chariot. After all, this type of demonic beast was extremely fast. Ordinary leopards could reach a speed of over 100 kilometers per hour at full speed. As for demonic beasts, they were naturally even faster. Wind-chasing leopard, it's a speed-type demonic beast. Based on its body length and color, it should be at the high level of Xian body realm. Ling Ying's voice rang out beside Lin Xian. Why is it chasing after us? Does it still want to attack us? Lin Xian said helplessly. Just as he finished speaking, he saw that the wind-chasing leopard was gathering energy in front of it as it ran. A golden ball of light was quickly condensed and blasted over. In that instant, everyone who saw it was terrified. If the assault chariot was hit by such a force, wouldn't it overturn? However, just as the force was about to hit the car, Lin Xian saw a light appear outside the car. It was like a defensive barrier that completely blocked the force. The car did not seem to be affected at all. They did not even feel the impact of the attack. They only felt the car shake as it drove. A second later, Lin Xian was even more surprised. The force released by the wind-chasing leopard seemed to have been absorbed by the barrier. Then a golden laser shot out and hit the pursuing wind-chasing leopard, sending it flying. It wasn't clear if he was dead or alive. However, Lin Xian was already very surprised by this scene. This assault chariot was quite powerful. No wonder it was built with a lot of resources. This was just a small interlude on the road. 2 hours later, their car stopped. Everyone, we've arrived at Chang'an County. Let's get off here. Wang Jichao's voice was heard through the loudspeaker. Then, everyone got off the assault tank. The place they were standing on was overgrown with weeds, and traces of human life could be seen clearly. After all, this place had only been occupied for less than 3 years. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, figures rushed out in all directions. As there were some demonic beasts around, they were not strong. The people from the enforcement union quickly cleared the area. Lin Xian looked ahead. Chang'an County was in front. Chang'an County was at the edge of Linfeng City. It was quite big. Therefore, other than their car, there was another car that stopped in Chang'an County. Linfeng County was not big, so it was settled by a team alone. The nearest bus stop was a bus stop sign with Chang'an County written on it. However, it was heavily embroidered. Looking further, there were bungalows. Even further away, there were tall buildings with dozens of floors. They could not see clearly, but the tall buildings were probably covered in moss. In short, these bungalows were covered in moss and vines. Lin Xian had seen Resident Evil before. That kind of world was barren. Actually, in a certain aspect, the current situation was similar to Resident Evil. The only difference was that the world was not barren. Instead, it was more lush and green. Wild grass grew. Without the restraint of humans, it grew densely and messily. The trees were also taller. At a glance, everything was green. Even the city was green. It had not been 3 years. Normally, demonic beasts would not destroy buildings for no reason. If the buildings fell, they would be in danger. Therefore, if these buildings were not destroyed when the demonic beasts attacked the city, they were still in good condition. If they were moved back and cleaned, they would definitely be habitable. This was the situation after more than 2 years. If it was longer, these buildings would basically be uninhabitable. They would be abandoned after more than 5 years. Over 100 kilometers away, most of the demonic beasts are in the Qi building realm and spirit focus realm. After all, this is the largest number of demonic beasts. There are not many arcane body realm demonic beasts. No wonder they are not worried. Actually, if one's luck is not bad to the extreme, they won't encounter any strong demonic beasts. Therefore, there won't be too much danger. Lin Xian muttered. Wang Jichao walked over and said, "Everyone stand in line. Divide into 4 teams. Hurry together in a long line. Don't wander around. Otherwise, you will lose your life and bear the blame. Do you understand?" Yes. Then their team became shorter, but it also became wider. Wang Jichao's gaze fell on Lin Xian. This made him very surprised. Lin Xian participating in this kind of operation was not too surprising. What was surprising was that it just so happened to be in his team. Lin Xian, your position should be at the back of the team. So take care of the back, Wang Jichao said to Lin Xian. Everyone looked over and were surprised. That expert actually knew this person? Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose and nodded. Okay. Then the 100 people moved around them from the beginning to the end. This was also the safest way because no matter where they were, there would be people protecting them. Wang Jichao then said. After entering the city, there will be a lot of demonic beasts. Most of the demonic beasts will stay in the houses, because they can shelter from the wind and rain. They will also save the effort of building their own nest. We will divide into 4 teams. I thought about it. The 4 teams will move separately. However, the distance between each team should not exceed 200 meters. With the street as the meeting point, we will clear and check the houses on both sides. 200 meters is equivalent to us having no distance at all. If there is an emergency, I can rush to the battlefield in 3 seconds. Then Wang Jichao continued, for teams. I will assign 25 people to each team. The battle of breaking into the houses will be done by them. What everyone needs to do is to clear the wandering demonic beasts on the streets in an orderly manner. There are quite a lot of them. Breaking into houses was a very dangerous thing. Lin Xian felt that it would be easy for them to clear the demonic beasts on the streets. Do you understand now? Wang Jichao shouted. Understood. Good. Now, everyone follow me into Chang'an County. Our battle today will begin. Then, they walked along the small country road into Chang'an County. When they walked in and arrived at the main road, the scene in front of them shocked them. Chapter 166. On this road, there were many beasts. Some were lying on both sides of the road, and some were directly lying in the middle of the road, basking in the sun. At first glance, it was really a bit scary. This kind of scene was actually something that not many people present had experienced before. Take Linging for example. When they went out to train, they also tried to avoid entering the city that had already become the territory of the beasts, especially the central area of the city. The number of beasts in the city was not less than the outside world. In terms of density, it was because there were ready-made houses in the city. The beasts could only build simple nests, so they definitely liked these kinds of houses that could shelter them from the wind and rain. Another point was that the beasts that had transformed into human form naturally lived in the houses. After they occupied the houses, they did not need to build them. This was also the reason why the inside of the city was so dangerous. It was because there might be beasts that could transform into human form. And to be able to transform into human form, the beast's realm was extremely high. In fact, it was equivalent to 2 different worlds. One was the living area of humans, the other was the living area of beasts. And since the beasts had transformed into human form, they might live a similar life to humans, drinking coffee, eating fruits and so on. This should be very normal. Those beasts looked very comfortable. Lin Xian roughly glanced at their levels. In fact, most of them were in the spirit condensation realm. The trashiest chi building realm was also much slower. Of course, there were also arcane body realm beasts. But thinking about it, the powerful beasts should be able to fight for the houses, and the trashiest ones could only fight outside. The other team went to the other side of Chang'an County, but they must have internal voice chat to keep in touch with the situation. Feeling the aura of everyone, those comfortable beasts all looked over. There were all kinds of beasts, and some of them even looked very scary. Then, they crawled up and bared their teeth at everyone, revealing fierce expressions. A fiery red wolf howled, and then a ball of flame was shot over. Whoosh! A member of the magic court rushed over and reached out his hand. A force condensed and directly blocked the flame that was shot over. Wang Jichao looked at everyone and said, "Everyone move in groups and look after each other. Find the beasts that are within your strength to fight. Remember safety first. Also, don't enter the houses. Move." Yes. Everyone shouted and rushed forward. Lin Xian's team followed the other members of the Judgment Union and charged towards the right area ahead. One by one, they brandished their spirit weapons and charged forward. Lin Xian held the Dragon Rain sword in his hand. His first target was a 5-star mystic body realm demonic beast. Lin Xian was a 4-star Mystic Body Realm martial artist. Under normal circumstances, a 4-star Mystic Body Realm martial artist would have a 50% chance of winning against a 3-star Mystic Body Realm martial artist. Martial artists of the same level would be at a disadvantage because the physique of the demonic beast was much stronger. Not to mention that the demonic beast's level was even higher. But to Lin Xian, it didn't matter. 1 star higher than him. If Lin Xian couldn't beat him, then he could really go eat shit. Roar. The demonic beasts were also very angry. There was actually a human who dared to intrude into their territory. Terrifying power was released one after another. Iron Armored Rhinoceros. Level, 5-star Mystic Body Realm, Attribute. Earth Strength, 750 Vitality, 810 Agility, 400 Spirit, 300. A type of demonic beast with extremely strong defense that is not weaker than steel. Its strength is also very strong. Its weakness is not high in agility, and it is relatively strong in one-on-one battles. Skill. Iron Armor. Condenses spiritual energy in its body, increasing its defense by 100% and releasing sharp thorns to attack. Consumes spiritual energy every second. Battle Intent Roar. A sound wave attack that causes tearing damage to the target it hits. It also has the effect of a spiritual attack. Earth Fissure. Uses a powerful force to crush the ground to attack. This was the attribute that Lin Xian's Eye of Spiritual Insight had probed. It had to be said that it was extremely powerful. When Lin Xian understood what kind of skills a demonic beast had, then Lin Xian had already won half of the battle. This Eye of Spiritual Insight seemed to have no offensive ability. But to Lin Xian, it was an unparalleled bug-like skill. Wasn't this equivalent to knowing yourself and knowing your enemy? Roar. The iron-armored wild rhinoceros also focused its attention on Lin Xian, because it felt Lin Xian's aura lock onto it. The figures beside Lin Xian, Ling Ying, Miao Xiao Miao, and the rest all rushed over to attack the target they had locked onto. The others also did the same. Ding! When Lin Xian's sword slashed over, the sound of metal colliding rang out, but the iron-armored wild rhinoceros did not suffer any damage. A powerful aura burst out from its body, but Lin Xian's advantage was in terms of agility. It was basically impossible for the iron-armored wild rhinoceros to hit Lin Xian with pure physical strength. Isn't it too hard? This is indeed, as the description says, heaven-defying defense. His defense is high, and with a layer of armor like outer shell, it's even more perverse. So, Lin Xian searched for places where it did not have the protection of the armor. Tail, throat, head, chest. The chest was basically impossible to hit, but the head and throat, once they were hit, it would be fatal. Lin Xian's eyes sharpened. He casually slashed to the side, and a demonic beast the size of half a man was directly cut in half, dying on the spot. This was a very weak spirit condensation demonic beast, and it still wanted to attack Lin Xian. In such a chaotic battle, it was impossible to achieve a 1v1. But as long as there were not several extremely strong ones, it didn't matter. Lin Xian's demonic beast was in agility, and the iron-armored wild rhinoceros was in defense. In Lin Xian's view, these two types of demonic beasts were the most difficult to deal with. One was the agility type, and the other was the defense type. But in Lin Xian's view, the most difficult was the agility type. A defense-type demonic beast could not have every part of its body be incomparably hard. This was the imperfection of this type of demonic beast. And speed. In the world of martial arts, only speed could not be broken. This sentence was reasonable. Fast speed was really powerful. Whoosh! Lin Xian rushed up again. With his powerful speed, the iron-armored wild rhinoceros was overwhelmed. But Lin Xian could not find an opportunity to attack its weak points. But he was not in a hurry. With a crushing speed, this kind of cumbersome demonic beast did not have any possibility of attacking Lin Xian. It could only release its martial skills. In the next second, Lin Xian saw the iron-armored wild rhinoceros's body faintly show an earthy yellow color. His pupils shrank, and at the same time, he saw spikes appear on the surface of the iron-armored wild rhinoceros's body. Because Lin Xian had a bit of an advantage, He knew what the demonic beast's martial skills were. So when he saw this scene, he knew what was going to happen next. No longer attacking, Lin Xian quickly jumped back, and then shouted, "Everyone be careful, pay attention to dodge." Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Then countless earth spikes shot out in all directions. Lin Xian kept retreating, and at the same time, he kept waving his dragon rain sword to knock away the spikes. In this situation, Lin Xian could still guarantee that he would not be attacked. Chapter 167. With Lin Xian's warning, the others all dodged. Some were even smart enough to use their beasts as shields, even using the iron-armored wild rhinoceros to heavily injure the beasts for them. "Are you okay?" Ling Ying had just finished off an arcane body realm beast, and instantly rushed to Lin Xian's side to ask. Lin Xian's lips curled up. "A bit hard, but I'm fine." "Okay." After saying that, Ling Ying continued to charge at the other beasts. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed and he rushed up again. He could choose to exchange for a strength attribute. Even if he couldn't break the armor, he could definitely make the beast feel pain. But Lin Xian wasn't willing to do that. It was best to exchange for this attribute in a situation where he had no choice. Otherwise, if he exchanged for it every time he fought, he wouldn't be able to maximize his combat ability. Seeing Lin Xian rush over unscathed, the iron-armored wild rhinoceros's aura erupted again. It stomped its front paw, and the ground cracked open. A huge force and cracks rushed towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian's speed didn't decrease. He used instant shadow to increase his speed by 20%. At the same time, the dragon rain sword in his hand began to coil with lightning. "Be careful." Miao Xiaomiao had finished off a 10-star spirit focus realm beast, and looked towards Lin Xian. When she saw this scene, she couldn't help but shout, "Shouldn't he be dodging? Why is he still rushing up?" This wasn't just the ground cracking open. The force that caused the ground to crack open was at the forefront. Is this guy a hothead? But in the next scene, Miao Xiaomiao's mouth opened slightly. She saw that just as Lin Xian was about to collide with the force, he suddenly disappeared and appeared in front of the iron-armored wild rhinoceros. With a roar, he raised his dragon rain sword and slashed towards the iron-armored wild rhinoceros's head. Zizizi roar! In that instant, the iron-armored wild rhinoceros let out a painful roar. Lin Xian continued to swing. That's right. Instant Shadow's teleportation had reached a level where the iron-armored wild rhinoceros couldn't react. Coupled with the Thunder Thousand Blaze Slash's powerful amplification effect, it reached the same effect as Lin Xian's space attribute. "It's really abnormal. I'm impressed by your willfulness." Miao Xiaomiao couldn't help but grumble. Plop! The iron-armored wild rhinoceros's body fell to the ground and kept struggling. Blood flowed from its head. F***CK. Even with my 4-star sword technique and Earth tier sword technique, I still couldn't cut off its head. I even hit the weakest part of its body, without any armor to protect it. This guy is really tough. Lin Xian couldn't help but complain. But even if it was fine, it was almost done for after being hit by such an attack. Roar! The ironclad rhinoceros unconsciously released its battle intent and roared. The sound wave attack caused its head to be charred black. It was probably in so much pain that it couldn't even open its eyes. It roared crazily and attacked its surroundings. They couldn't even see Lin Xian. One by one, the demonic beasts were killed by its attacks. As for the others, some of them had already retreated, because Lin Xian's battle had caused quite a commotion. After all, the demonic beast that Lin Xian had chosen was one of the strongest demonic beasts in this batch. "Chi!" Lin Xian sneered, then raised the dragon rain sword in his hand. Lightning Thousand Blaze Slash, spirit weapon amplification by 100%. It had the power of lightning, and could last for 10 seconds. At the same time, it could condense lightning to slash out once. It was the same as completely releasing this move. Lightning flashed, and purple sword Chi formed a crescent shape as it slashed towards the iron-armored wild rhinoceros. As it flew, the ground was split open, and the lightning even blasted the ground. Boom! Ding! You've killed the iron-armored wild rhinoceros. Experience plus 6,000. Right now, Lin Xian needed 33,000 experience points to level up to 5 stars. This 5-star arcane body stage beast gave him 6,000 experience points, so he was already very satisfied. This was the reason why Lin Xian had come here. Wasn't this a chance to level up? Actually, many people had seen the scene of Lin Xian using instant shadow. Lin Xian also didn't need to hold back, because in the outside world, they all knew that there was someone called Lin Xian who had the spatial attribute. So what was Lin Xian holding back? Why didn't he just show it? Only Lin Xian knew that he had used instant shadow, a martial technique. However, others thought that Lin Xian had used the power of space to achieve a short-distance spatial jump. Following that, Lin Xian went to kill the other demonic beasts. There weren't many arcane body realm demonic beasts left. After all, most of them were spirit focus and chi building realm demonic beasts. If all of them were arcane body realm demonic beasts, the humans would have no chance at all, because the demonic beast's overall quality was too high. Fortunately, that wasn't the case, because looking at the Sky Martial Court's martial artists, the strongest ones were only from the advanced class, and not all of them were arcane body realm demonic beasts. The people from the Enforcement Union cleared the demonic beasts in the nearby houses. Of course, they left behind a group of people to protect everyone and clear the streets of the demonic beasts. The fighting in the houses on both sides of the street was even more exaggerated. After all, they were in a limited space. There were all kinds of glass, and the sound of walls shattering could be heard. About 10 minutes later, all the demonic beasts in sight were cleared. Everyone gathered in the middle of the road again. They could only use this method to kill the demonic beasts they could find. Clearing a county of demonic beasts in 24 hours was actually quite a difficult task. Are there any injuries? Wang Jichao glanced at everyone. There are definitely some injuries, but they are all considered minor injuries. Wang Jichao nodded. We can't waste any time. So everyone heal yourselves as we move. There's still a county of demonic beasts waiting for us. Everyone do your best. Devote yourselves to the battle today. I'm afraid that each of you will at least level up by 2 levels. All of you must seize this opportunity as well. Yes, of course, they knew that this was indeed an opportunity to level up. Moreover, it was in a relatively safe environment. This kind of opportunity was indeed hard to come by. Although there were still many low-tier demonic beasts here, there were many spirit-focused realm demonic beasts. The lowest cultivation level of each of them was 1 star of the spirit-focused realm. Outside the city, there were more chi-building realm demonic beasts. Even if they wanted to find a spirit-focused realm demonic beast, they still needed luck. Moreover, they didn't dare to go any further. Everyone, let's continue and clear the next street. Everyone then moved forward. Does your space jump consume a lot of spiritual power? Ling Ying came to Lin Xian's side and asked. That's right, Ling Ying also felt that Lin Xian released the power of space, and not martial arts. Not much, but you have to avoid using it continuously. Otherwise, you won't be able to bear it. Lin Xian said. I thought that the space attribute would consume a lot of spiritual power. It seems that the space attribute is indeed stronger. Ling Ying sighed. Lin Xian hadn't told Ling Ying about this matter yet. Therefore, Ling Ying also felt that Lin Xian had the space attribute. Lin Xian did indeed have it. But it wasn't for the time being. Boom! A small bungalow that was more than 10 meters tall was suddenly blasted by a force and fell in front of them. Chapter 168. Everyone was shocked and quickly retreated. What's going on? There was a strong force just now. It's probably trying to ambush us. Is everyone all right? Everyone was shocked. They were walking at the back, so the ones who were in trouble should be the ones in front. This was because the building had collapsed at the very front, where Wang Jichao had led the members of the magic court. They were all buried in the rubble, and Lin Xian and the others did not know what had happened. Had they been hit by the building? Or had they been blocked by the dust and were actually fine? They hoped it was the latter. If it was the former, they would be in danger. One figure after another emerged from the dust and quickly arrived behind Lin Xian and the others. Although they were covered in dust, they should be fine. After all, these people were all experts. The weakest of the 100 people from the Enforcement Union was at least at the Arcane Body Realm 7-star. And most of them were at the Arcane Heaven Realm. They still had the ability to react. Moreover, even if they were hit, they should be able to react and block it. Everyone back off, Zhang Jichao shouted. Then, everyone's gaze fell on a figure that was gradually emerging from the dust. Lin Xian frowned slightly. The figure was gradually becoming clearer. So it's a heavy hammer beast. This demonic beast was huge, about 10 meters long. It looked like a triceratops. Its biggest feature was its tail. It was quite long, and at the end was a huge hammer. It was bigger than a few people, and that should be its main attack method. It was hard to imagine how a martial artist would be smashed by such a huge hammer. The force would definitely be extremely strong. Roar! The sledgehammer beast let out a furious roar, and then it suddenly swung its enormous hammer. Be careful. This speed was very fast. It should be able to intimidate more than 10 meters or even 20 meters. Lin Xian sensed that this should be the power of the Arcane Heaven Realm. Whoosh! Wang Jichao rushed forward and blocked it with both hands. Wow! Lin Xian was shocked by this scene. Wang Jichao wasn't even 1/5 the size of the hammer behind the heavy hammer beast's tail. However, he was able to block the force of the hammer. Moreover, he looked very relaxed. Luckily, his realm isn't high. He's only at Arcane Heaven Realm 9 stars. If he was at Lightning Tribulation Realm, he would be in danger. Wang Jichao said, but he wasn't surprised. It was reasonable to encounter a profound Heaven Realm beast here, so there was no need to be surprised. Following which, Wang Jichao casually raised his hand, and the huge hammer was sent flying backwards, causing the heavy hammer beast to fall to the ground. Whoosh! In the next instant, Wang Jichao leaped into the air, and then his whole body shone with golden light. It turned into a golden light and smashed into the heavy hammer beast at an extremely fast speed. Boom! Everyone felt the ground shake violently, and even dust flew up. This was strength. The heavy hammer beast was more than 10 meters long, while Wang Jichao was less than 2 meters tall. His punch was enough to shake the ground. This was the power of the Lightning Tribulation Realm. With one punch, Lin Xian could no longer sense the heavy hammer beast's aura. He was dead. Lin Xian's jaw dropped. F***CK. Wasn't this a little too strong? This was the power of cultivation. Profound Heaven Realm 9 stars was the kind of existence that could kill Lin Xian with a sneeze, but under Wang Jichao's strength, he died with one punch. This was only the Lightning Tribulation Realm. What about the Law Realm and Domain Realm? Lin Xian had experienced the power of the Domain Realm before. He felt that when he had the power of the Domain Realm, it was as if he owned the world. This was strength. Everyone was shocked by this scene. They had never seen an expert attack before. At most, it was the Profound Heaven Realm. High-level Lightning Tribulation Realm was still terrifying. It looked like Wang Jichao's normal attack. Wang Jichao landed in front of everyone and said, "What happened just now was a special situation, so everyone must be extra careful. You must not be distracted in the demonic beast domain. Otherwise, if the situation just now happens again, and the location of the collapse is next to you, how many people can escape?" Wang Jichao's words were indeed thought-provoking. Indeed, although they were afraid, they felt that with the people from the Enforcement Union around, everyone was too relaxed. If the place collapsed next to them, many people would have died. This was also good luck. They continued to move forward, and continued to clear the beasts in Chang'an County. Time ticked by, and the sun was gradually setting. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the sky. The sun had already reached the westernmost side. The red sunset reflected the sky, making it look exceptionally beautiful. He couldn't remember how long it had been since he saw the beautiful sky. He didn't expect that the next time he saw it would be here, under such a scene. Cosmic Fist. Boom! Lin Xian's eyes narrowed and he charged forward, killing the 7-star Spirit Focus Realm beast. Ding! You have leveled up to Arcane Body Realm 5-star. In one afternoon, Lin Xian successfully leveled up to Arcane Body Realm 5-star. This was also attributed to the fact that there were many beasts here. Moreover, he had killed several Arcane Body Realm beasts, which gave him enough experience. However, he was slightly injured, but it wasn't a big deal. This road was cleared. Basically, they had cleared half of the streets at the edge of Chang'an County. The other team cleared the other half. This afternoon, they didn't stop at all and didn't rest at all. However, the people from the enforcement union were even more tired than the rest. Everyone, rest here for 10 minutes. We've cleared the periphery. Next up is the area near the city. There are many small districts and shopping malls. The terrain there is more dangerous, and the beasts there will be more powerful. Therefore, the next battle will be more difficult than this afternoon. Wang Jichao glanced at everyone and said, "Leader, why will it be more dangerous next?" Someone asked in confusion. Wang Jichao smiled and said, "That's a good question. It's actually very simple. Beasts that have reached the arcane body realm have intelligence equivalent to a human in their teens. We humans like to enjoy. Why don't beasts like to enjoy as well? In the central area, no matter if it's the decoration of the houses or the comfort level, or the various kinds of food that we use to make beasts like it, the better the houses, the better the protection from the wind and rain. Beasts have better senses than humans, so naturally, they like places like this." Wang Jichao paused and continued. "On the other hand, the houses beside us can indeed provide shelter from the wind and rain. However, they have been in disrepair for close to 3 years. In fact, the effect isn't that good anymore. Therefore, to be able to occupy the high-rise buildings in the center of the county, only beasts that are stronger can do it. Do you understand now?" "Understood," Wang Jichao continued. "However, the difference is that there might be only one beast in a building in a small district. This is because powerful beasts generally have a strong sense of territory, so they will be very strong. Everyone needs to be extra careful." Chapter 169. When Lin Xian heard Wang Jichao's words, he felt that he had learned a lot. Demonic beasts occupied human cities, so naturally, they preferred to live in human-built houses. Although they did not know how to clean them, it was more than enough to shelter them from the wind, rain, and moisture. Actually, demonic beasts were similar to humans. As long as they had enough intelligence, no one would prefer to live in a tiled house over a skyscraper. Demonic beasts were the same. Although to demonic beasts, a skyscraper was not as convenient as a tiled house, and they even had to climb the stairs. It was definitely comfortable. As for opening and closing the door, they could just smash the door. Wang Jichao also said that, for example, a building in a small district with more than 10 residents, but to demonic beasts, the entire building belonged to a single demonic beast. From the looks of it, a demonic beast that could occupy an entire building would definitely not be of a low level. Of course, a big fellow like the heavy hammer beast would naturally not be able to live in it. However, some of the bigger tiled houses could still allow them to sleep and rest. Actually, Lin Xian was looking forward to something. That was to see what a demonic beast in human form looked like. Would it really look like a human? The number of cultivators who had seen a demonic beast in human form could be counted with one's fingers. Basically, it was impossible to see it. Firstly, it was too strong. Basically, no one would be able to survive after seeing it. Secondly, a demonic beast of that level would not appear in front of humans. Generally speaking, when demonic beasts attacked a city, they would only be the ones giving orders, and not the fighters. Take a rest. We will continue our journey in 10 minutes. Everyone from the enforcement union should also take a rest. However, be alert. Be careful of any demonic beast sneak attack. Yes, in this afternoon, they were only injured. No one died, and no one was seriously injured. In fact, it was because the enforcement union had protected them well. Sometimes, when a spirit-focused realm cultivator was targeted by an arcane body realm cultivator, the enforcement union would immediately rush over to protect them. Even if they had a battle on hand, they would immediately put it down. It was probably an order from the higher-ups to ensure everyone's safety. This way, the world would feel that following the 3 major powers was a safe and harmless thing to do. This way, the country would be able to go to war more frequently. This kind of operation would strengthen the strength of a large-scale cultivator. This was something that could not be helped. If they did not carry out some measures, the humans would not be able to withstand the attacks of the demonic beasts. Lin Xian leaned against a tree. Beside him, Miao Xiaomiao and Linging immediately came over. Not far away were the members of the Gale mercenaries. As for Qin Xiaotian, he had not appeared beside the crowd, and had been at the forefront. I saw your cultivation level increase just now. Linging looked at Lin Xian and said. Lin Xian nodded his head. Yes, Arcane Body Realm 5 stars. Miao Xiaomiao's mouth was slightly agape. You're already at the 5 stars Arcane Body stage? Miao Xiaomiao asked in surprise. She remembered that back in the deep cold valley, Lin Xian was only at the 10 stars of the Spirit Focus realm. When he fought her, he was also at the 10 stars of the Spirit Focus realm. When the incident at the Sky Martial Court happened, Lin Xian was rumored to be at the 1-star Arcane Body stage. She thought it was normal since she was also at the 1-star Arcane Body stage. However, in just a few days, Lin Xian had just broken through to the 5 stars Arcane Body stage, while she was only at the 2 stars Arcane Body stage. The difference was immediately apparent. Miao Xiaomiao was very confident in her talent and ability. However, she did not expect to be dealt a blow by Lin Xian. Yes, I've increased a little recently, Lin Xian said. He was originally at the 2 stars Arcane Body stage. However, when Linging agreed to be his girlfriend, his cultivation level increased by another 2 stars. Today, he had killed quite a number of demonic beasts, so his cultivation level increased to the 5 stars Arcane Body stage. Lin Xian actually felt that this speed was quite fast. I really don't know why you're only at the 5 stars Arcane Body stage at the age of 21. Logically speaking, if you've maintained your current cultivation level, you should be close to the Arcane Body stage by now. Miao Xiaomiao complained. She did not know that Lin Xian had been rumored to be trash. This matter had basically spread throughout the Tianhua Academy, and a few other academies. Everyone else had heard about it, but Miao Xiaomiao had almost never interacted with anyone from the academy. Naturally, she did not know about it. The only person she interacted with was Xiao Runing. However, Xiao Runing had only met Lin Xian recently. Normally, she would not have told Miao Xiaomiao about this. However, Linging was very shocked, because she knew about this matter. In other words, Lin Xian had only started cultivating recently. However, he was comparable to her for more than 10 years. Therefore, she was also shocked. However, it had not been more than 10 years. Basically, all cultivators only started killing beasts when they were 15 or 16 years old. Before that, they were still too young. If they wanted to go out, their individual strength was too weak. It was simply difficult to kill demonic beasts. Therefore, for Ling Ying, Han Qishue and Qin Xiaotian, it was only 7 or 8 years. However, they all had a slow process of improving. At the beginning, they might not go out more than a few times in a year or two. However, Lin Xian was different. Although he was weak in his previous life, he had experienced many storms and waves. His starting point in terms of experience was Ling Ying, and the rest's current level. Therefore, Lin Xian was very daring. This is nothing. Can't we just kill beasts? Sometimes, if we're lucky, we'll encounter stronger demonic beasts. Won't we be able to increase our level by killing a few more? How lucky is that? Especially when it's not far from human territory. Miao Xiaomiao mumbled. Then she thought about it. Indeed, Lin Xian's strength was very strong. He was also strong in martial arts. Miao Xiaomiao had personally experienced it. His martial arts grade was also high, so his combat strength was naturally strong. Furthermore, with the combination of the lightning and space attributes, he could even fight opponents a few levels above him. With the space attribute, he should at least have no problem escaping, right? Miao Xiaomiao felt that if she also had the space attribute and reached Lin Xian's level, she would not be afraid. However, they did not know that Lin Xian did not have the space attribute. In any case, to Lin Xian, his biggest secret was the scumbag system. This secret would always be hidden. Perhaps in the future, he would tell Linya and the rest. However, Lin Xian felt that it was impossible for him to do so in a short period of time. You're at the 10-star Arcane Body realm. How much more do you need to reach the arcane heaven realm? Lin Xian asked Ling Ying. Ling Ying was slightly stunned. Then, she looked at Lin Xian in surprise. How do you know that I'm at the 10-star arcane body realm? Lin Xian was stunned. Oh no. He did not seem to have asked about Ling Ying's realm. If Lin Xian knew about Ling Ying's previous realm, he would not be too surprised. However, even Ling Ying herself was surprised that she had mysteriously increased by 4 stars. She had never revealed it, not even to Han Chuxue, because she did not know how to explain it. However, how did Lin Xian know? Lin Xian did not want to reveal the ability of the Eye of Cave Spirit. At least, he did not want to reveal it for the time being. It was not that he did not trust her, but that he did not know how to explain it to her. This ability to detect the other party's attributes did not exist in this world. Are you stupid? You told me before. I told you? Ling Ying frowned. Chapter 170. In any case, Ling Ying didn't remember telling Lin Xian about it. She didn't remember telling anyone. You guys chat, I'm going to eat something. Do you want me to get some food for you? Miao Xiao Miao asked. No need, you go eat, Lin Xian said. Okay. Then Miao Xiao Miao walked away. Hurry up and tell me, when did I tell you? Ling Ying asked again. Did you forget when I asked you that last time? Get lost. Ling Ying clenched her teeth and cursed in shame and anger. Really, did you forget? Ling Ying couldn't remember anyway. Could it really be? Why was she thinking about it at that time anyway? It felt so good. Maybe she really did accidentally answer Lin Xian's question. Bah! Good my ass. Lin Xian saw Ling Ying's face turn red for no reason. He was dumbfounded. What was this girl thinking about now? However, this was the best excuse Lin Xian could come up with. Although he thought that Ling Ying would still be suspicious, it was fine as long as she didn't admit it. Ling Ying didn't continue this topic and asked Lin Xian, I have something to ask you. Ask away. Why did I level up after the first time, and the third time with you? Ling Ying asked. She felt that her skin seemed to have become better after that time. Could it be that doing it with a man had a beautifying effect on a girl? Lin Xian. Damn. How many times did this girl remember it so clearly? What? Level up? Why can't I understand what you're saying? Lin Xian began his performance. The Best Actor title wasn't just for show. If a man didn't know how to act dumb, how could he travel among the beauties with ease? This matter was related to Lin Xian's biggest secret, so it was impossible for others to know about it. At least not for the time being. Lin Yu was clear about the previous experience, so Lin Xian felt that it didn't matter. Because Lin Yu never asked about anything, she just had to choose to believe in Lin Xian. Ling Ying said faintly, That's right. I improved after doing it with you. Then she continued. We humans obtained the God spawn system when the world changed. The power released by this system can strengthen our bodies, and even increase our lifespan. It's different from the cultivation of Yao beasts. We don't need to cultivate. We only need to improve our combat ability, and become proficient in various sword techniques. Only by killing Yao beasts and killing people can we gain experience. Other than these two methods, there are no other ways to level up. However, I inexplicably discovered a third method. Are you trying to say that you'll level up after having sex with me? It's really like that. Ling Ying said. Don't be ridiculous. Level up every time? Lin Xian asked. No, just twice. Every time, I'll level up 2 times. Lin Xian then said. Then tell me, if you can level up after having sex with me, shouldn't you level up every time? Why only twice? We've done it many times, okay? Ling Ying's face turned red. Then she glared at Lin Xian and said, I'm serious. Don't doubt me. It's true. Lin Xian obviously knew that it was true. After all, he was the one who helped Ling Ying level up. But he couldn't say it. This kind of thing was especially troublesome to explain. Perhaps there would be a chance in the future, but definitely not now. Are you dumbfounded by my sex? Ling Ying, why don't you go die? Ling Ying really wanted to kick Lin Xian to death. This person's words were really infuriating. Then Ling Ying continued. Even if I'm dumbfounded, I can't forget my own level, right? And twice. It's true. Lin Xian said. Even if it's true, there must be some other reason. This reason might exist, but we don't know what it is. Then Lin Xian grinned and said, have you heard of dual cultivation? Or maybe I have some special constitution. Ling Ying. She really believed him. Because if that wasn't the case, why would she level up? Lin Xian had a special constitution. If he had sex with her, she could level up. But why didn't she level up every time? That's why you have to have sex with me more often. That way, I might be able to produce a super expert. Lin Xian said with a smile. Scram. How can you cheat me like that? Do you think I'm an innocent teenage girl? Ling Ying really couldn't stand Lin Xian anymore. Hey, if you want to be a lady, how can you say such vulgar words? However, Lin Xian liked Ling Ying's carefree and unrestrained manner. It would be strange if such words came out of Yi Yi's mouth. I'm not a lady to begin with. Have you ever seen me being a lady? Ling Ying said proudly. Yes, I think you're especially ladylike when you beg for mercy. Really? Ling Ying. Boom. On the other side, everyone heard a loud sound and looked over. The scene they saw was already over. The tree Lin Xian was leaning against was directly broken by Ling Ying's punch. Damn. Can you not be so fierce? Lin Xian was about to die from laughter. Teasing this Ling Ying was really fun. If you continue to make me angry, you'll end up like this tree. Ling Ying snorted. Lin Xian smiled. He didn't believe that Ling Ying would touch him. She would only touch his little brother. Okay. I won't make you angry. Lin Xian said with a smile. Then tell me in your opinion what's going on. Ling Ying asked. How would I know? I'm not the one being slapped. Ling Ying. Ding. The host has caused Miss Ling Ying's inner heart to go crazy. The degree of insanity is extremely high. Scumbag value plus 200,000. Lin Xian. Ever since Ling Ying became Lin Xian's girlfriend, it was hard to get a scumbag value from her. After all, teasing one's girlfriend wasn't a scumbag, and slapping one's girlfriend was reasonable. It wasn't something a scumbag would do, so there was no scumbag value. It was fine even if he made her go crazy a few times. But this time, the extent was much deeper. Ling Ying took a few deep breaths. She felt that if she didn't do this, it would be hard to calm down the true qi in her run-do and do meridians. It's fine. Be good. Ling Ying realized that she couldn't be too calculative with Lin Xian. Otherwise, she might be angered to death by Lin Xian one day. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Ling Ying fiercely rolled her eyes at him. Right. Even if this is true, don't tell anyone. I'm not stupid, of course I won't. Ling Ying rolled her eyes again. She was simply too beautiful. Lin Xian wanted to drag her into the small forest. Lin Xian stretched and stood up. Then can you reach the mysterious heaven realm today? Chapter 171. Ling Ying nodded. That's possible. Of course. That's only if there are enough high-level arcane body realm beasts or arcane heaven realm 1-star beasts. If there are only arcane body realm 5 stars, I'm afraid even 30 of them won't be enough. Lin Xian. 30 arcane body realm 5 stars beasts were enough for him to level up a few times. But for Ling Ying, it wouldn't even be enough to level up a single level. Just how much experience would it take to reach the first level of the mysterious heaven realm? However, since Ling Ying had said that she could reach the mysterious heaven realm by 1 star, that meant that she had the confidence to kill a mysterious heaven realm demonic beast, while she was still at the mysterious heaven realm. It was just 1 level, but it was a big realm. Normal cultivators definitely wouldn't dare to say that. Only extremely strong cultivators could say it and do it. Lin Xian also believed that Ling Ying could do it. You have to level up faster, or else I'll catch up to you. Lin Xian laughed. TCHU? Dream on. Ha ha ha. Wait until I catch up to you, then I'll bully you every day. Lin Xian laughed happily. Ling Ying rolled his eyes, as if he didn't bully her every day. Do you want to eat? Miao Xiaomiao walked in front of them with 2 buckets of instant noodles. Damn, where did you get the hot water? Lin Xian thought she was going to eat some snacks, but this girl actually brought instant noodles over. Country bumpkin, there are too many ways for cultivators to get hot water. Ling Ying heard Lin Xian's exclamation, and secretly rubbed his forehead. Heavens! Was Lin Xian really a cultivator? It felt like he didn't know a lot of things. Is it easy? Then tell me about it. Miao Xiaomiao rolled her eyes at Lin Xian and said, Are you eating or not? Lin Xian smiled and took the buckets while helping Ling Ying. They said they didn't want to eat, but Miao Xiaomiao still carefully made a bucket for them. This girl wasn't bad. Thank you, Ling Ying said. Miao Xiaomiao glared at Lin Xian. Look at sister Ling Ying, and then look at yourself. Can't you be more polite? Lin Xian rubbed the tip of his nose and said, We're so familiar with each other. Wouldn't it be too distant if I thanked you? Tisk, who's familiar with you? Hurry up and eat. We have to leave in a few minutes. With that, Miao Xiaomao walked away. Then Lin Xian and Ling Ying ate their instant noodles. Ling Ying said, Little Miao has a space ring on her hand. It's a space spirit tool. You just need to put a thermos bottle in there, and you'll have hot water for your instant noodles. I almost forgot about that. Lin Xian facepalmed. This is also a spatial ring, right? Lin Xian asked. Ling Ying nodded. Yes, you haven't, have you? Yeah, I don't know where to get one. Ling Ying thought for a moment and said, I'll get my family to send one to you in a few days. It's really troublesome for a martial artist to not have a spatial ring. Wow, that's great. Lin Xian exclaimed. Shameless. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Spatial rings are extremely rare, right? And they're very precious, right? Ling Ying nodded. Well, how do I put it? A 5 cubic meter spatial ring is worth about an Earth-rank martial skill. And it's the kind that can't be bought with money. Lin Xian. Then give it back to me. If not you, then who? Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Hee. If there weren't so many people here, Lin Xian would have hugged Ling Ying and pinched him. As expected, I'm the person you love the most. Lin Xian said smugly. Bullsh *T. Who do you think you are? The person I love the most. I just feel sorry for you. And, if word gets out that I Ling Ying's boyfriend, don't even have a spatial ring, wouldn't that be embarrassing for me? Lin Xian knew that Ling Ying had a sharp tongue but a soft heart. Although she said that, she definitely didn't think so in her heart. Then Lin Xian moved closer to Ling Ying's ear and said, When we get home, let your husband pamper you. Ling Ying. F***CKU. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian really liked Ling Ying's character. She was carefree. Although she would swear, he felt that it was a plus point for Ling Ying. Her swearing wasn't annoying, and it made Lin Xian feel that she was cute. Every time he heard it, he wanted to press her down on the sofa and conquer her, while Ling Ying scolded him. Finally, she would beg for mercy. That feeling was especially satisfying. At this time, Wang Jichao walked over and shouted, It's time to rest. Time is tight. The sky is already dark. Everyone, prepare to set off according to the previous team's formation. Yes. Then everyone gathered. They were in a state of excitement. Before they came, they really wanted to hang around, but after an afternoon of fighting, they felt especially good about being protected. Moreover, as long as they weren't lazy, basically everyone had leveled up. So they all knew that they had to fight hard for the rest of the night. It wasn't for leaving, but for their own strength. Otherwise, if they missed this opportunity, there wouldn't be another one. Be careful at night. It's very dangerous. Ling Ying reminded Lin Xian. I know. In fact, demonic beasts were equivalent to various kinds of mutated animals. Therefore, normal demonic beasts inherited the characteristics of animals. For example, most of them liked to roam around at night. Demonic beasts were most active at night. They would also come out to look for food. As for their targets, they were naturally all kinds of ordinary animals. However, most of them hunted other demonic beasts. Furthermore, demonic beast senses were normally stronger than humans. At night, demonic beasts might be watching you, but you didn't see them at all. For example, when they came to Chang'an County during the day, they saw demonic beasts lying peacefully on the street, basking in the sun. If it was night, it would be a different scene. After an hour, they killed all the way to the center of Chang'an County. Now they were in a square that used to be. Surrounding them were residential buildings, large shopping malls with dozens of floors, cinemas, and so on. They had cleared the square of demonic beasts. However, demonic beasts from all directions and positions kept attacking them. However, as they were gradually killed, the demonic beasts felt the smell of blood in the square. Many of them looked at them from afar. Even if you raised your head, you could see a demonic beast on the 4th or 5th floor of a building in a residential area looking in their direction. Various colored eyes emitted light in the night. Because of their massacre, the cries of various demonic beasts came from the night, making people feel incomparably scared. If there were only a few people here, they would really be afraid of death. Lin Xian felt a chill down his spine. In this square, the demonic beasts that were just killed were generally in the spirit condensation realm. There were almost no Qi building realm beasts. There were also many arcane body realm beasts. Wang Jichao glanced around and said, "We have more than 1,000 people in this square. Therefore, we have to split into 4 teams and move separately." Chapter 172. If they split up, they were only afraid of one thing, which was to encounter a danger that they could not deal with. However, if they did not split up, the efficiency of 1,000 people moving together in the plaza would be too low. More than half of them would just be bystanders. However, Wang Jichao's so-called separation would not be too far apart. It was within a range that could be seen with the naked eye. Wang Jichao then looked at everyone and said, "How about this? 4 teams will split up. 1 team will go to the cinema, 1 team will go to the shopping mall, 1 team will go to the 5-story supermarket over there, and the last team will go to the clothing mall over there." The 4 places that Wang Jichao mentioned were all big places. The smallest one was also 4 stories high, but it covered a large area. This kind of place is huge, and based on my experience, under normal circumstances, there will be a lot of demon beasts inside. Wang Jichao said. Lin Xian raised his head and looked. There was no need for him to say anything, because Lin Xian had already seen layers of demon beasts staring at them through the glass of the shopping mall not far away. Those pairs of red, green, and blue eyes were especially clear in the dark night. Then Wang Jichao continued, "There are a lot of demonic beasts in this square, and the smell of blood is very strong, so it will attract the surrounding demonic beasts. Therefore, half of the people will stay in this square and wait to kill the demonic beasts that come. Of course, you will also be assigned a few Thunder Tribulation Realm experts to protect you. As for the other groups, there will be nearly 150 people moving at the same time. So your safety is actually guaranteed. Every group will ensure that there is a Thunder Tribulation Realm expert to protect you. In this way, everyone can rest assured." Most of the 100 people from the Trial Union were in the Mysterious Heaven Realm. A few were in the high-level Mysterious Body Realm, but there were also a few in the Thunder Tribulation Realm. Of course, they were not at Wang Jichao's level. However, they were still in the Thunder Tribulation Realm after all. If there was a Thunder Tribulation Realm expert in each team, they would be at ease. "Does anyone have any questions?" Wang Jichao asked. No. In fact, everyone also wanted to split up. This way they could fight more monsters. "All right, I'll take 1 team to the largest shopping mall. The rest of you take the other 3 teams. Wang Jichao then walked towards Lin Xian's team and said, "I'll take your team to the shopping mall. The shopping mall has 24 floors and is the largest building here. It must have the most demon beasts, so it's naturally the most dangerous." Lin Xian also wanted to go to the shopping mall. With such a large building, to be able to occupy it, it was reasonable to say that the demonic beasts were more powerful. He needed arcane body realm demonic beasts to level up. Good. Take half of your men and leave them in the square. Get ready and set off. Lin Xian and the others naturally chose to enter the shopping mall. They had a total of 150 people, and 15 people from the enforcement union were left behind to follow them into the mall. Wang Jichao was the one leading the team. With Wang Jichao leading the team, Lin Xian was at ease. Then they split into 5 groups. The group with the most people stayed in the huge square and waited for the smell of blood to attract more demon beasts. The other 4 groups entered the 4 largest buildings nearby. Lin Xian's team was led by Wang Jichao. Lin Xian, Ling Ying, and a few people from the Swift Wind mercenary group were at the front. Those who wanted to increase their strength would choose to be at the front. Of course, there were also some stronger people at the back. They were responsible for the safety of the demon beasts behind them. As soon as they entered the shopping mall, they felt a chill in their faces. It was very, very dark, but everyone from the enforcement union opened the badge on their chest in an orderly manner. It was actually a flashlight, and the light was very bright. In fact, for Lin Xian's level, his night vision in the dark was already very strong. The lack of light didn't affect him too much. There weren't many demon beasts on the first floor. Some of them had probably already gone out to attack them in the square, and were killed by them. Everyone be careful. Pay attention to any position in the dark. There might be demon beasts hiding there to ambush us. Wang Jichao reminded everyone. Then, everyone cleaned up the first floor and walked down the stairs to the second floor. Boom! A fireball the size of a person suddenly shot towards the group of people who were walking down the stairs. Wang Jichao reacted quickly. He leaped into the air and swung his fist. The strength of his fist extinguished the fireball in midair. At the same time he jumped to the second floor. Then, Lin Xian heard the sounds of battle and the cries of demonic beasts. In just a few seconds, everything quieted down. This shopping mall was very, very big. Other than the number of floors, the area of each floor was very large. But basically, with the elevator as the center, each floor was evenly spaced on both sides. When they arrived at the second floor, everyone stood there. Lin Xian then said, "Team leader, why don't we split into two teams? One team will go to the left side of the stairs, and the other team will go to the right. If all of us go to one side, the demon beasts on the other side will take the opportunity to run down the stairs." Wang Jichao nodded. What he said makes sense. There shouldn't be any danger. Everyone is on the same floor. If anything happens, we can provide support immediately. Xiaolin, you take half of the people to the left. I'll take the other half to the right. After we clear everything, we'll gather here and go to the third floor together. We'll do this again. Yes, team leader. Then they split up again. Wang Jichao took Lin Xian and the rest. Looking at the decorations on the second floor, it seemed that there were all kinds of shops that sold clothing in the past. There were big and small shops. Lin Xian saw a demon beast looking at them and hiding in a shop. Whoosh! In the next instant, Lin Xian took the lead and rushed up, because his eye of spiritual insight swept over and saw that it was an arcane body realm 3-star. 3-star was still very attractive to Lin Xian. Lin Xian, be careful. Wang Jichao saw this scene and secretly shook his head. Then everyone hurriedly followed. There were few demon beasts on this corridor. They had probably sensed their aura and were hiding in some corner of the shop. They were either afraid or waiting to ambush them. With more than 100 people, they couldn't possibly all rush into one shop. Lin Xian was the first to enter. It was quite big, probably more than 1,000 square meters. Then Wang Jichao and a few people from the enforcement union followed in. Ling Ying, Miao Xiaomiao, and a few people from the Wind mercenaries also followed in. As for the rest, they were led by the enforcement union into the shops on the side in an orderly manner. On average, there were more than 10 people in each shop. Of course, the bigger shops naturally had more people. When Lin Xian rushed in, he suddenly saw a pair of glowing eyes staring at him from the darkness. Whoosh! A gust of cold energy emitted a faint blue light in the darkness and shot towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian leaped back and dodged it. Then, he saw that the pillar that the gust of cold energy shot towards was covered with a layer of frost. Be careful. Ling Ying followed closely and saw this scene. Then she couldn't help but say worriedly, "I know." Lin Xian nodded. Then, the few of them rushed in and looked at the demon beasts in the darkness. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.